everyone. Okay, so that was not supposed to happen, but we are having some technical issues. That's why we ran a little late. And I'm having a little bit of a problem with one of the StreamYard scenes. So that is just me explaining my StreamYard induced panic attack. And sorry about the loud music in the beginning. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Sorry about that. Yeah, so today has been a little bit technically
I'm good.
challenging, and we have a little bit of a delay.
A
Sorry,
little bit.
everyone, little bit, but we're we're here. We're here.
We're gonna
Let me
fight
say
through
hello.
it.
We're gonna do that. We are because I when I thought I fixed it, but it's that first scene on Streamyard that is acting up a little bit, and it has been all day since I got in here. But we're soldiering on. Hey, CJ. And Fly Girl, hi. CJ is keeping an eye on us. So is Baby Angel. She's supervising. Um, and hi, everyone. So, just in case anybody wasn't here yesterday, we did a part 1 of this and we covered some new documents in relation to the Anna Kepner case. So I guess we could do a little bit of a recap of that. We kind of just looked through the document, which gave a really good timeline of what they established during the investigation with the CCTV, and a little bit about the newly released information about the second contributor to the DNA discovered in Anna's autopsy. So that's what we went through, and we're gonna then after that we kind of started this video on the custody proceedings between Timothy Hudson's parents, and that's what I've left it in the exact timestamp where we stopped, so we're gonna carry on with that and see how that goes. And then yeah, we're gonna talk a little more about Anna Kepner. And yeah, just want to thank everyone for being here, especially you, Jennifer. Thank you. And I
Oh,
think
thank
that,
you.
and also I am very sorry in advance for any technical issues. I think everything's okay now, but please, guys in chat, if you cannot hear, if it's too loud, if it's too anything, just let me know. Let me know so that I can get to the bottom of what's happening. Hi, Caddy. Yes. Okay.
Hi,
So
Caddy.
yes, we are all in position. And let me get the details of this video as well. You'll notice that it's quite an old video that we're covering. It's from December of 2025, but I maintain that it's a really, really important one to go through when it comes to understanding the dynamics of this case. And we might, kind of look into a couple of theories with regards to Timothy Hudson. I know that there's a lot out there about what's going on there. So we'll see what we can come up with. We will. All right, let me stop the video. And as usual, just stop me along the way if there's anything that you notice, find interesting, the usual.
Yep.
And was Brooke attending school prior to the cruise?
Yes.
And after the cruise, did she have to be removed from school?
They placed her on homeschool. They just unenrolled her this past Monday.
And why is that?
That was their choice to unenroll her.
Say their choice. Who are you talking about?
The school's choice.
Hi, Maria.
It had nothing to do with her behavior or anything. It had to do with the media.
She's currently on a homeschool status indefinitely.
No, she's being enrolled into another school.
Did you discuss that with Mr. Hudson?
I let him know that he had asked me to let him know when she was enrolled, and I told him I would. But I had just found out this week that she was unenrolled from the school.
as far as, are you going to be allowed to come back to your home at any point?
At this time, no. Not with the FBI investigation.
She is really like I mean, when this first happened, a lot of people got the impression that she was going to like defend her son and do the thing that they always do, like my son would never do this kind of thing, but she doesn't seem to be that way. She's like she doesn't really even want him near, which is interesting. I mean, in a couple of ways. I mean, I think that like from what I understand about them, there is like this tendency to kind of just ignore your problems. So there's that in that way, but it's also, I guess, an acknowledgement of what's gone on.
Yeah, they may have realized that they messed up, and they might be reflecting right now and realizing, hey, maybe we need to get a handle on this. It's a little late, but
well, yeah,
better than never, I guess. She's going to protect the rest of the kids.
She is, and herself as well. I heard somewhere that initially they wanted to send Timothy to live with a friend of Christopher's as well. So they were looking for ways for him to not be there straight away, as soon as they heard that he was being investigated. So yeah. I suppose that, in a sense, is a responsible approach. But as you say, it's too little, too late. Unfortunately for poor Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not your husband will allow him to return to the home, even if the investigation concluded?
As of right now, he's not coming back to the home.
Ms. Kepner, who all went on the cruise with you?
Myself, my husband, Anna, Connor, the two youngest girls, and then my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
What are their names?
Jeff and Barbara Kepner.
And where was their room in relationship to where your room and the children's room was?
2 floors above us.
Did they also help in the supervision of the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anna, who we know passed away, she was 18, correct?
Correct.
And she was an adult?
Correct.
And was she given the option of staying in another room?
All 3 of the kids were.
Okay. And would that room have been with Grandma and Grandpa?
Correct.
Okay. And they didn't want to do that?
No, they wanted to stay together.
So how does that fit with like the ex-boyfriend saying that she had to go to friends' houses just to feel safe, to get away from him, and what he saw on FaceTime and stuff like that? It's somebody's not telling the truth. It's just, you have to decide who you think it is. I don't believe that it's a choice that the 3 of them made. I mean, I stand corrected, but just my opinion, I don't believe that. I don't know what you think.
You mean 3 kids choosing to stay together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about that often, and I tried to think when I was that age, I probably would have wanted to be in a room with my other siblings just for freedom, and you don't want mom and dad or grandparents watching you. But at the same time, if that was going on, I don't know that she would have made that decision. Maybe the boys would have, but not her. I don't think she would have.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll never really know, but it doesn't fit with what her ex-boyfriend has been describing publicly. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Did they all get along?
Yeah, the 3 of them are like the 3 amigos. They're best friends.
Okay. And with regard to Connor, I know you were questioned about him. He's not a suspect, or you haven't been advised by anyone?
Correct, he's not a suspect.
As far as you know, is the only suspect in the death of Anna, your son?
Correct.
And with regard to the schooling, this was the movement of the children from one school to another wasn't because you just decided to randomly remove the children, correct?
Correct. The school decided to unenroll all of the children at the school.
Okay, when you say all of the children, who
We had 4 total, including Anna, going to that school. They unenrolled all the other 3 kids.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Because of the, and you were told because of the media coverage?
Yes.
And did they give you the recommendations of the school that you have enrolled them in?
Yes.
And that this new school is aware of the situation?
Correct.
And there's been no problems with Anna at the school, or sorry, with Brooke at the school since this incident, correct?
Correct.
She's a good student as far as
Straight A's.
I don't believe I have any further questions at this
Thank
time.
you.
Any redirect?
Just brief. As far as Brooke, you mentioned her being a good student. Is she also diagnosed ADHD?
No.
Is she on any medication?
Yes, she takes some migraine medicine daily.
And are you the one that administers that medication?
Yes.
How long has she been on that medication?
She's been on that medication for 2 years now.
No further questions.
Thank you. Anything else? No, Your Honor.
All right, you may stay. Thank you.
That wraps up the testimony of the stepmother of the victim in that Carnival cruise.
Can you
Death.
pause
Chris
it
Ann
for
Hall
a
still with
second?
us, former prosecutor and constitutional law attorney Chris Ann Hall.
Yes, I can.
Do you find it odd? Sorry, do you find it odd that every time she's asked about administering medication, she's solely responsible for it? And isn't Anna almost 18 at this time?
Well,
Or
they're
is she
speaking
17?
about the 9-year-old here, but her lawyer made a mistake and
the
called her Anna.
9-year-old. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So
that's why
I
I'm
don't
confused. Okay.
I don't know if Anna took any chronic medication, but she did have a painkiller in her system, but that had nothing to do with her passing. So I don't know anything about her and medication, but
Right.
they're talking about the little girl here. But I mean, just like springboarding off that point, there does seem to be quite a lot of medication administered. Because yesterday, when we watched the beginning of this, we heard about Timothy Hudson's medication, and yeah, the mother is administering everyone's medication, which for the 9-year-old I think is obvious, but for him at 16, I mean, she was forgetting to give it to him. For all we know, he would have taken it
Yeah.
better himself. So I find that odd.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
If anyone
my
wants
thought.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the commentary that we've heard from the mother in this. This is a child custody case. It is not a criminal trial. How much of it, though, do you think could be used if we see a criminal trial?
Well, statements made in the Florida custody hearing can absolutely be used by federal prosecutors. The confidentiality of a family court hearing does not extend to federal homicide criminal investigations.
Okay, that is really interesting. So everything that's in here is fair game for them, right? Like they can use it. It's not confidential just because
Yeah.
it's a different case. Okay.
Even though the family court case is civil, anything said under oath becomes fair game in a federal homicide case unless the witnesses invoke the Fifth Amendment. Confidentiality protects the public from seeing the testimony, but it doesn't shield that from the FBI. To use a family court testimony, the federal prosecutors, they simply have to subpoena the sealed records and ask the federal judge to unseal it. And like I said before, the federal the Florida confidentiality rules do not block federal use of these things.
Okay. Anything you've heard from the stepmother on the stand that makes you think that there's a possibility we won't see criminal charges, or maybe the most harsh criminal charges, against the suspect?
No, it's going to be hard to tell. It's going to, like I said, it's going to be very interesting. He is only 16 years old, so technically he would be tried under juvenile justice laws. It's very rare that they elevate these things to adult cases, but that'll be left to see.
Chris Ann Hall, thanks so much for your analysis. We've got to get to a break. When we come back, we've got more of this emergency custody hearing, and the brother, eldest brother of that suspect is going to be testifying next.
Thomas claims that the young... And as the FBI investigates Kepner's death, Thomas Hudson is the father of her stepbrother, who is allegedly named a suspect in her death, and that father has filed an emergency motion. Thomas claims that the youngest child he shares with Chantel, who is Anna's stepmom, was in imminent danger due to the events on the cruise ship. We'll hear from him later this hour, but for now, Thomas and Chantel's eldest son is on the stand. And a reminder, the name of the alleged teen suspect in this case has been muted throughout, so if you hear quiet, that's why. Let's go back in.
Please state your name, sir.
Andrew Hudson.
And how old are you, sir?
18.
What's your birthday?
10/4/07.
You just turned 18, October 4th of this year.
Yes, sir.
And who do you reside with?
My dad.
And how long have you resided with your dad?
2 years.
And when you've been residing with your dad, have you been able to maintain contact with your brother?
No, not really.
What do you mean, not really?
Very, very little contact.
And why is that?
I haven't been allowed to see him. Yeah.
Who has he been living with up until recently?
Up to my knowledge, my mom.
How about your sister, Brooke? Have you been able to have contact with her since you've been living with your father?
I've seen her a few times, but it's kind of the same thing as my brother.
You mean you haven't been allowed to see her?
I've seen her recently once, but other than that, it was a while ago.
The recent time that you saw her, when was that?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was a weekend or two ago.
Did it coincide with a holiday?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, sorry.
Was it Thanksgiving Day or just another day?
It was just Thanksgiving Day.
And how much time did you get to spend with Brooke?
It was about the full day.
Was your father there as well?
Yeah.
And did Brooke appear to be scared of your father in any way?
No, she was fine. She was happy-go-lucky, playing around.
Did you interact with Brooke?
Yeah.
How did things go between you and Brooke?
We had a great time. I was playing around with her. She was having a good time, up to my knowledge.
Before you started staying with your father full-time, did you and Brooke have a decent relationship?
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously the siblings, that kind of stuff, but other than that, me and her on good terms.
Are you still attending school?
Yes, sir.
You intend to graduate high school?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why Brooke couldn't live with your father?
No, not that I know of.
You doing well in school?
Yes, sir.
Why did you come to live with your father?
I believed I was better off over here with my dad.
Why did you believe you were better off?
Because I was going to finish out school and do trade school.
When your mother relocated, what was your understanding of what was going to happen with you?
I was going to finish out school over here and then possibly go to school to be a crane operator over there.
Had you talked to your mother about that?
We talked about it a few times, yes.
And is that what happened?
No, that's not what happened.
Okay. Was there some sort of problem that occurred?
Other than what happened before when they came in and took me.
So your understanding was that you were going to finish out school and then possibly relocate?
Mr. Smith, if I could get a time frame.
Yes, ma'am. Do you remember when this was?
I don't remember the exact date, no, but it was around prom. It was right after prom of last year, not last year, the year before last.
Not during this school year?
No.
The
previous school year?
It was, I think, 2 school years ago.
And
So we're talking about 2023,
I believe so.
and prom occurs generally in the spring or in
No.
the fall.
To be honest, I don't remember.
do you remember where you are as far as how far along in school that year?
I don't, honestly.
So let me just stop you a second. So you're questioning about.
I'm also going to stop a second. I just wanted to let you guys know that for background on what we're watching today, there was a episode that we did yesterday, which is a really good recap, and then a part 1 to this. So if you want to know exactly what's going on, yesterday's episode will help. But you're right, this case is a lot, and it keeps like getting more and more, it seems. But yes, thank you for saying hi. Welcome. And definitely check out yesterday's. I'll get the link for it right now and put it in chat.
Incidents that occurred back in 2023, how would that be relevant to whether Brooke is in imminent risk of harm today, as we sit here in December of 2025?
Well, you gotta, first off, I know he doesn't remember the date, but it would have been 24 based on the relocation of the parties.
But let me ask you this, would it have occurred prior to the party's stipulation that permitted Mrs. Hudson to move to and relocate to Brevard County?
No, it was after.
So it occurred after the stipulation. Okay. All right. I'll give you a little bit of leeway then.
Was there some sort of altercation that happened between yourself and your mother?
Yes, when they came in and took me from, they came in and took me from school and took me to Titusville.
How did you find out they were taking you to Titusville?
After I got in the car and they had took my phone already.
What do you mean they took your phone away?
I had gotten in the car, and as soon as I got in the car, she asked me for my phone. She took it and powered it off.
Is that normal for them to take away your phone?
No, sir.
Who else was in the car?
It was my mom and my stepdad at the time.
Would that have been Chris?
Yep.
And did you let them know that you didn't want to go to Titusville?
Yes.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 16, I believe.
And how did you let them know that you didn't want to go?
I told them I didn't want to go.
And they still held on to your phone?
Yeah.
Did you try and leave the vehicle?
I did, yes. When we stopped, I tried leaving, but as soon as I would try to get out, they would speed off.
Did anybody physically touch you?
Yes, I was put in a chokehold and held up against the seat, the front seat.
Who did that?
Both my mom and Chris.
Did that happen on?
So this is what I've been talking about, like when I say that there was just so much crazy stuff going on, because I mean, what he's alleging here is not only like violence, but it's kidnapping as well, according to him. That's what he's saying. So it's really shocking what Anna's dad and stepmom were doing, if this is accurate. Thank you so much. Yes, everybody, please remember to.
That surprises me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought
I didn't expect to
it was,
hear that.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was really important to make sure that we do watch this, because there's so much different dynamics that have led up to things on the cruise ship, and I'm not saying that they're directly related or that they're like causal or anything, but it's context, and it's all important. And I mean, I get the impression he's telling the truth. I really do think that what he's talking about here happened, which I can't even imagine how terrifying that must be when one of the parties doing that is your parent and you're just being taken somewhere. It's terrifying.
Several occasions during the drive, or just one time?
They held me against the seat until I couldn't fight back anymore.
So how long did that last for then? If you remember.
I want to say like 20 minutes, 2.5 hours, maybe.
$20 minutes?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That was exactly what I said when I heard that. I was like, 20 minutes of that. But I guess that he was struggling with them quite a bit. So, yeah, that's why.
Oh, that poor boy.
Yeah, and it makes sense that that was the last time he was, wanted to live with them. He wanted to live with his dad. I mean, the plan of him going to Titusville afterwards did not happen for very obvious reasons.
Right.
Hi, Stone. Thank you for visiting. And also, thank you so much. Thank you, Astro from Space. I appreciate that.
I like that name, Astro from Space.
Me too. I really like that name. And for everyone just coming in, this is the testimony of, I guess we can say, Andrew Hudson. He's not a minor anymore, but he's previously known as AH in the custody dispute between Thomas Hudson and Chantel Hudson Kepner, the parents of the accused in the murder of Anna Kepner.
do you know how long your mother had been dating Christopher prior to that?
If I remember correctly, 5 months. I don't remember exactly how long.
Had you been to Titusville over those 5 months when she had been dating you?
I've been over there a couple times. Yeah, it was sometimes every other weekend.
And during the 5 months that your mother was dating Christopher, did she allow you to drink alcohol?
Yeah,
What were the circumstances that happened?
we were just drinking. She would be on the phone with Chris sometimes, FaceTiming, and she would allow me to drink.
What type of alcohol do you recall?
I don't remember exactly what kind of alcohol it was.
Was it cans or
It was out of a bottle.
was it poured into a cup?
Yes, sir.
Were any of your other siblings there that you recall?
My brother might have been there, but I honestly don't remember.
So based on Chris being on you said FaceTime,
Very
so he
sad.
was aware of what was going on. He could see what you were doing.
I believe so.
Did you see what he was doing on FaceTime?
No, sir.
You said you've been living about 2 years with your father, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that was after your mom relocated to Titusville?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this incident that you were speaking about in the car, that was because you were trying to get out of the car, correct?
Yeah,
They were trying to restrain you from getting out of the car, out of a moving vehicle, correct?
the vehicle was not moving.
Okay. But they were trying to keep you from moving or jumping out of the vehicle.
I'm sorry, but that is so transparent what she's trying to do there. Like, no, they were protecting you, weren't they? They didn't want you to jump out of a moving vehicle. And he just looks at her like it wasn't moving. I think that's really grasping on her part, that lawyer.
Yeah. I don't like when lawyers do that, but I'm having a hard time grasping what I heard about the whole vehicle incident. It just is so surprising to me. It makes you wonder about the things that Thomas was learning and seeing, probably added to the issues he was already having.
Yeah, and this is the environment that Timothy Hudson was in. Both him and his younger sister, they were with Christopher Kepner and Chantel Hudson Kepner. So this does give us a bit of insight, and you will see that as the father does testify as well, it seems that those two kids were very resistant to seeing him, their biological father, Thomas. And I don't think that that's a good sign in and of itself for what was being like fed to them by their mom and stepdad, to be honest. But I mean, we'll get to that, but there's just it's just a really unhealthy environment, as I'm sure you're seeing now.
I'm seeing it unfold.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's more.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you wanted to stay because you wanted to be with your girlfriend, correct?
No, ma'am.
Your father at that time, wasn't he living in a camper and not in a regular house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you were staying with your grandmother then, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And not necessarily with your father.
Well, I'll be over there in the camper every now and then, but yes,
Primarily with your grandmother?
mostly, yeah.
Okay. And did you also stay on certain occasions with your girlfriend?
No, no.
But mostly with grandma?
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Were you living with your mom primarily during this time, or were you living with your grandmother primarily during this time?
After what?
Prior to the incident in the vehicle?
Prior to that, I was with my dad before. After she relocated, I was living with.
Before she relocated, because before she relocated, who were you living with?
Before I was living with her, and then I would see my dad every other weekend.
Okay. And when were you living with your grandmother?
I was, it was like on and off between my grandmother and my dad.
After your mother relocated to Tyson?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you were aware that your parents signed documents that she was going to be moving with all of you to Titusville, correct?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Yeah, when you said living in this trailer and living at your grandmother's house, was this on the same property or different properties?
There's 2 different properties.
Has your father subsequently obtained housing?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You have your own room?
Yes, I have my room.
No further questions.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may sit.
All right, remember, this is a custody matter, an emergency family custody hearing in Florida. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring you more of the testimony. Stay tuned.
The disappearance.
And her ex-husband. Kepner was the 18-year-old found dead on a cruise ship. Her stepbrother has been named a suspect, according to the family. Now, his father, Thomas Hudson, has filed an emergency motion regarding his youngest child. Thomas is now on the stand, and keep in mind we are muting audio of the alleged teen suspect's name. Let's go back into court together.
State your name, sir.
Thomas Hudson.
And Mr. Hudson, do you have any children?
Yes.
And what are their names and ages?
Andrew, 18, 16, and Brooke, she's going to be 9 this month.
Turns 9 in a couple days.
Yeah, on the 9th.
Did you enter into an agreement with your ex-wife to allow her to relocate to Titusville?
Yes.
And the both of you did that without attorneys? It was just an agreement that the 2 of you came to?
Yes.
And what was your understanding of what was going to happen regarding Andrew?
He was to finish out school with me, and then he would go over there.
And did that occur?
No.
What happened?
I don't remember the exact date. It was in April, I believe, of 24 that the school had contacted me because they had felt something was wrong with her coming and picking them up and the way she was acting. And so
So how did you react to that?
I was alarmed. So I tried calling Andrew and his phone was off. I tried calling her, no response, and Brooke, and phones were both off also.
So all of the kids' phones were off. So that's kind of interesting. And also, I wasn't aware that the school had to call him to tell him that she was acting strange. That kind of adds a whole other perspective onto what was going on. Like they were visibly acting strange.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things going on with her.
Yeah.
Right. In this time.
Yeah.
Did you travel over to Titusville?
Yes.
Did you subsequently pick up Andrew?
Yes.
And has Andrew been with you since that time?
Yes.
Prior to Andrew coming to live with you, in approximately April of 2024. What sort of parenting time did you have with the two younger children?
Prior to her moving over there,
Yes.
it was Tuesdays and Thursdays and every other weekend, plus or minus the holidays.
And did that continue once she relocated?
No, it was supposed to be every other weekend, and then the holidays worked out.
And were you allowed to see Brooke?
No.
Did you make attempts to try and?
Yes.
Did the agreement have an exchange location where you were supposed to exchange Brooke?
Supposed to exchange at the racetrack in Winter Garden, I believe.
Did you recently get an opportunity to visit with Brooke?
Yes, I was able to go and pick her up in Titusville for Thanksgiving.
And how did the Thanksgiving visit go?
Went good.
Did your ex-wife inform you that she was going on a cruise and taking the children?
She did.
And what was your position regarding that?
I wasn't okay with it. I let her know I wasn't okay with it.
And why was it that you weren't okay with it?
Because at that time, I was getting nowhere with seeing my kids. I had barely any communication at all.
That's really sad.
So you weren't even able to hardly talk to them?
No.
Have there been occasions where you've been able to talk to them?
Occasions she would have them talk just to say that they didn't want to talk to me.
Was that by phone?
Yes.
Did you know whether or not she was present there with the phone?
I mean, I heard them there. Occasionally they would talk. I would be on speaker.
You heard your ex-wife there?
Her and Chris.
Were there ever attempts for an exchange?
Yes.
And what occurred during those attempts?
They wouldn't show. They would say that she would say that they didn't want to come with me and that she wanted to proceed with therapy in advance before we did anything.
Did you have any problem participating in therapy if that was arranged?
No.
Did you ever get invited to any therapy?
She might have invited me. I don't remember exactly, but I did speak with a therapist.
Did that therapist remain the therapist for the children?
No, I don't remember when they removed them from that. But to my knowledge, they didn't get another therapist after, I believe her name was Amber.
So that's pretty concerning too. That the whole therapy situation seems a little unstable. Which, I mean, I think if anything's going to be stable, you want it to be children's therapy, right?
Did you recently agree to reside with a third party?
Yes, that way I can get them away from the whole situation over there.
When you say the situation over there between Chantel and Chris?
Yeah, the whole situation, I didn't really want him going into a facility or to Chris's friend that has a tow truck company. That was a suggestion.
Those were the other suggestions?
Yes.
And as far as is located closer to you now?
Yes.
And are there restrictions on your contact with?
I'm not supposed to go over there. I do talk to him. I'm not supposed to go over there. I'm not supposed to really talk to him.
What do you mean? Why are you not supposed to?
I don't know. I tried to get, when I had Brooke for Thanksgiving, I tried to get all three of the siblings to see each other because they've all told me they wanted to see each other. So I messaged Chantel and she wasn't okay with it.
So hold on just a second. Let me understand this. So we're here for an emergency motion because you believe mom has made some decisions that are detrimental to Brooke.
Yes.
As a result of some things that happened on the ship, but you were going to take Brooke to see or to get to be with Brooke. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
She asked to see her brother.
So because an 8-year-old asked to see her brother, you were going to accommodate her.
Supervised, yes.
Go ahead.
And because the mother said no, you didn't do that, correct?
No, correct.
And it's her family that has in their care right now, correct?
Correct.
Are you having more contact with now than you've been allowed to have in the
Yes.
past?
Yes.
And as far as in the past year, let's say, you've been have a lot more contact with him now?
Yes.
Did you have some concerns for care while he was with?
Uh-oh. Some technical difficulties. So I'm curious if anyone in the chat wonders why the mother was so insistent on having all of the kids with her to the point that she would get physically violent with one of her sons. That is so strange to me. Very strange, very concerning. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that.
Hi,
While we wait for Rosee. There's Rosee.
Here's Rosee. Okay, so it didn't carry on playing when it kicked me out, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Sorry, everyone. Let me.
So while you were away, I was asking the chat what their thoughts were about why the mother was so insistent that she have all of the kids with her to the point that she would actually get physically violent to keep them with her. So I'm just curious what her reasoning for that was.
I'm not sure, but from what I've heard just listening to these hearings, it seems that there was a certain amount of, I guess, isolation when she did get involved with Christopher Kepner. And the reason I'm saying this is because they'll get relatives of her on the stand as well who will say that she didn't even let them have her new address when she moved to Titusville to be with Chris. So, and then you kind of couple that with this idea of the kids, the two younger kids saying that they don't want to see their dad. It gives me this impression that there is like an active effort to kind of separate, and I'm saying separate as a polite way of saying isolate. But that's obviously just my opinion. Yeah.
Right. Almost like a parent alienation situation going on.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what's going on. And it's hard to get, your head around it when you look at things in relation to Anna's case, like that Thomas Hudson wasn't okay with the cruise. He didn't actually want his kids going on the cruise. And he was saying things like he was not getting anywhere with seeing his kids. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, how different would things have been if the whole family was just handled properly? Like, hearing that she let kids drink, she's the same person who administers pretty serious medication to them, and she also allows them to drink. That's shocking to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't judge other parents, but in my own opinion, I don't think that was very healthy at all for a parent to do that, make those decisions.
Yeah. Everyone let Anna down. Her dad, grandparents, stepmom, and sadly her younger brother too, because he should have told when T didn't let him in. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, I don't know much about the little brother. I don't know what his thought process was on the whole situation, but I do agree with you that it seems like out of all of the people that you would expect to be there for Anna, nobody was. Like, just nobody took the time to just see to her and make sure that she was okay. So I guess in a way, even though she was probably, like, she was social and had friends and stuff, but within the family, I can imagine that's very lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's continue and hope that I don't get kicked out. Sorry about that again, everyone.
Where that was prescribed some medication.
I knew he was on medication. I didn't know exactly what kinds, what names.
Was that discussed with you prior to going on the medication?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was told after he got the prescriptions.
Did you express your concerns to the mother?
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody needs to be on certain things for certain situations, but I'm not okay with a lot of the side effects on some of the medications.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you talked about the exchanges, have you ever seen the stepfather, Chris, interfere with the exchanges?
Yes.
And how so?
Just before Thanksgiving, we met at a fire station, and he and his family got out of the car. Chantel never got out. Brooke refused, of course, to get out. And I think after he said the third time, she said she didn't want to go. He stepped between me and the door, closed the door, said to get away from his vehicle, and that they were leaving.
So you weren't given the opportunity to try and take Brooke out of the vehicle?
No, I was told not to reach my hands inside the vehicle or anything.
Had either Chris or his family attended other attempts to?
Chris has, yes.
While there's a gap, I'm going to pause there because I really feel for him. I really, really feel for Thomas. I mean, I'm not saying he's a perfect parent. I mean, he is Timothy Hudson's father, but I do feel like his sadness when it comes to giving all of this testimony. And for another person to be interfering with your relationship with your own child, I can't imagine what that must be like.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a lot of anxiety inside that he was dealing with, just worrying about his kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell because after the situation with Andrew, he went straight to Titusville when the school called him. So I get the impression that he is responsible as a father.
Yeah, I'm curious what kind of behavior the school considered odd enough that they needed to make a call. I'd be curious to know what she was doing.
I would love to know that as well. I wonder if there is a way to find out. If there is, we'll find out. I just want to touch on these two comments. We will. Okay. But her dad been letting her down, sleeping with Anna babysitter who was 15, and then he married her when she was 18, and her and Anna became very close, and then he cheated on her with this lady here. And but what parents across the hallway don't see Anna for 16 plus hours, y'all? Yeah. And look, when it comes to the situation with how he came
That's a
to
good
be married
point.
to, yeah. When it comes to the situation with how he came to be married to Tabitha, his second wife, I know that she was the babysitter. I know she was underage at the time. And I know that her parents have alleged things, and like legally speaking, I don't think that that was confirmed. Look, I wouldn't necessarily be all that surprised, but it's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is that in the eyes of the law, he wasn't found to have done anything wrong because of her age when they got married, and I'm not sure what occurred prior to that. So I suppose to be fair, we have to try and be fair and just mention that. But yes, Tabitha did raise Anna for 13 years. She was pretty much the closest thing she had to a mother, and it must have been very difficult for Anna and Tabitha during that divorce.
Yeah, that brings up a lot more questions now that we know that bit of information, because if he's doing things that might not be inappropriate and he doesn't see a problem with these things, then maybe that would explain a lot why he didn't take the other father's concerns about the stepbrother very seriously, because in his mind, he might not have seen anything wrong with it because he may have those same thoughts or behaviors in the past.
Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. Um, and like I think it is, regardless of what happened, it's obviously very complicated. Like there's a lot of different, stemming off his three different marriages. There's a lot going on, so it's kind of difficult to keep track of, to be honest. But I what I'm trying to say is that it was probably quite confusing for the kids.
Have there been any of these attempts to have parenting time where Chris hasn't been involved?
Not that I can recall, no.
Back on March 12th of last year, 2024, you signed an amended parenting plan at that time regarding your 3 children, correct?
Yes.
And that document was filed with the court and an order was entered to approve it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did anybody hold a gun to your head to sign that agreement?
No, I thought we came to an agreement.
Okay. And so you signed it freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And that agreement was for all 3 children to be able to relocate to Titusville with Miss Kepner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you testified earlier that it was your understanding that your oldest son was going to stay and finish out the school year, that's nowhere indicated in the paperwork, correct?
That was an agreement me and the mother had.
Okay, so you're saying it was a verbal agreement, but it wasn't in the amended parenting plan that you signed, correct?
No, ma'am, but that's what my oldest wanted at the time.
And you were aware that that language was not contained in the amended parenting plan that you signed, correct?
Yes, that's why we had the discussion.
And when you had this verbal agreement, there was no further written agreement.
I'm sorry to stop and laugh, but I mean, I really like the way he handles her, because he's like it's really simple, but he's also just like kind of showing her up, like, I know what you're doing, and no, it wasn't in the document. That's why we felt the need to talk about it, because it's just I'm just kind of impressed by that.
Made to solidify that, correct?
I could probably go through and see if there was any text or anything. That might take a while, but as far as I remember, it was a verbal agreement.
Absolutely.
We had a talk with Andrew about.
My question was there wasn't anything signed by both of you saying that your son Andrew, who was 16 at the time, was going to remain in Hernando County, correct?
No, it was just an agreement.
Okay. You indicated that you saw your daughter for Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes.
And how did you effectuate that visit?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
So you sent a text message or an email to Miss Kepner saying you were coming to pick the child up for Thanksgiving and to meet at the designated meeting place, correct?
Yes.
And she appeared with the child, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The weekend prior to that, on the day of the funeral of the 18-year-old child, you had sent a message that you wanted to pick up Brooke the next day, correct?
Yes.
And that you expected them to be there, correct?
Correct.
And they showed up, correct? Your daughter didn't want to get out of the car, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And prior to that, wouldn't it be fair to say, sir, that there were no other times when you sent a text message saying that you were going to meet at the racetrack or any other location to come pick up your children for your time sharing, correct?
There is a lot of times stating that I was going to be there and I would show up.
Let me bring in trial attorney Bob Hilla. And Bob, this is a little bit different than.
And let me also just bring in my opinion. I've read the text messages between the parents, and a lot of them are him complaining that he can't see or that he hasn't been able to see his kids. So I'm not sure why she thought she could get away with throwing that in there, but his response is, from what I've read in their texts, which is, it's like 300 pages. I'm not putting anybody through that, but it seems to be the case that he was complaining frequently about it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah, interesting.
most of the criminal trials that we cover. This is an emergency custody hearing, as you well know. And this is the father of a youngest child filing this to say, I don't want the youngest child around the alleged suspect in the murder of Anna, who is also a minor child. How is this playing out in your mind?
Well, I think in terms of the credibility, this witness is pretty credible. And it was kind of funny because I think there was going to be a follow-up cross. She was expecting, I think, the witness to deny certain things, and he didn't. So there was sort of a pause there. But I think, ultimately, like with any case, they have to prove the merits. But what does this court have to decide? There was a parenting plan. This court now needs to weigh the evidence, the credibility of the testimony, and make a decision. Do we change that parenting plan, and why? And basically, though, here, the standard is what's best for the subject child. There is always a presumption that, in this case at least, since there was a custody plan approved by the court, that remained in effect. But now they want to change because now there's some sort of a change in circumstances that places the child at risk. At least that's what would be implied by these proceedings. So now this judge has to look into this case and the evidence before her and decide, what is it? Is there a change in circumstance that puts this child at risk? What is that? And is residing now with the father, the answer to protecting the child and the best interest of the child, which is basically what the court's charge is in this circumstance.
Right. All right. Thank you. That gives so much context to our viewers of exactly what's happening in this hearing. You're going to stand by because we'll talk about how it relates, if it does, to any potential criminal charges next. But we need to take a break. We'll bring you more of this emergency family custody hearing in Florida. Plus, we are in verdict watch in Georgia versus Trinity Pogue. You can see up on your screen cruise ship death of teen Anna Kepner. Chantel Kepner, who is married to Anna Kepner's biological father, Christopher Kepner, is in a dispute with her ex-husband over the custody of 2 of their 3 children, one of which is being investigated in connection to Anna's death. Let's go back inside the courtroom for this civil case. Chantel's stepmother is on the stand testifying about underage drinking occurring in Chantel's home.
Yeah, so this just to give some background, this woman is married to Chantel's father. So there's a lot of stepmothers and like step everything, and so Chantel also has a stepmother. And I just wanted to let you guys know that because it confused me in the beginning as well. And yeah, she's going to testify about this underage drinking, which, to be honest, once she gets cross-examined, it doesn't seem that serious. But after Andrew's testimony that we heard earlier of him saying that they were allowed to drink, I do think it is actually quite serious.
Yeah.
Is that your name, ma'am?
Sonia says.
Okay. And do you know Chantel Hudson?
Yes, I do.
How do you know that? How do you know Chantel?
I'm her stepmother.
And do you recall if Chantel relocated to Titusville?
Yes, I do.
Do you know where she was living prior to
Excuse me,
relocating?
Your Honor, can we ask the witness to speak up? I can't. Ma'am, if I could get you to speak into the microphone, ma'am, so that everyone's able to hear you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know where she was living prior to her relocating to Titusville?
Yes, she was living with us.
And what city do you reside in?
Wiki Wachi?
Were you residing in Weeki Wachee at that time?
Yes.
When was this, ma'am?
We've been there for about 2 years now, so 23? Around summer of 23 is when we moved where we're at.
Summer of 23?
And did Miss Chantel reside with you there from the time that you moved there?
Yes.
And do you recall how long she lived with you until she relocated to Titusville?
She moved in there around, we did like June. And then I want to say it was probably April of 24, right around there. I don't know exactly.
About April of 24 is when you recall that you relocated?
Yes, it was before the end of May, so it was before school got out.
Are you aware of, while she was living with you, were you aware at some point that she was allowing minor children to drink alcohol?
I saw it one time.
What were the circumstances? What did you see?
I walked in the house. They were sitting at the island. Chantel, Andrew, and we're sitting around the island. And I do believe, I think it was Chris that was on FaceTime. And they had shot glasses in front of them. And I'm like, what are you doing? She said they just wanted to taste what it tasted like.
Who's they?
The boys.
She allowed all three boys to,
There was two, Andrew and
so she allowed, there was three shot glasses, one for mom, one for Andrew.
yes, ma'am.
What was your relationship with the children while they were residing with you?
Very good. Very good.
And just to clarify, as far as you indicated, your stepmother, Chantel, correct? You're married to her father,
Yes.
and her father resided in that home as well.
Yes, sir.
Since she moved over to Titusville with Chris, have you and your husband been allowed to have contact with the minor children?
No.
No further questions, Ms. Rose.
Chantel didn't live in the actual house with you, with the kids. She lived on another home or parcel on the same property, correct?
About 100 foot from mine. They're about 100 foot apart.
Okay. But she wasn't with you in your particular house, correct?
No.
And neither were the kids.
No.
You said that you saw the kids drink alcohol on this one occasion. It was just the one occasion?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was it that they were allegedly drinking?
I did not look at the bottle that was sitting there
Well, how do you know it was alcohol?
because I knew it was alcohol. I didn't look at the name of the bottle. There was a bottle sitting there. I didn't look to see what the name was. I went on about my business.
And did you say anything to Chantel that you didn't think that was a good idea or anything like that?
I questioned it, and she said they wanted to see what it tasted like. So she said she was going to let them while they were at home instead of out somewhere.
Come on. And you said that since that Chantel moved to or relocated to Titusville, you haven't seen the children. You haven't called her to request.
I have.
Oh, you said you're saying
I have
you didn't
left
call her?
messages. I have texted her. We have reached out. There was a falling out about Chris, and she didn't want anything else to do with us because her dad told her that he couldn't come around.
That's something that I think is pretty interesting because it does seem like, according to her family anyway, like a lot of the issues do stem from her relationship with Chris. I don't know what things were like before, but that's what a lot of them are insinuating or implying.
Because your dad, meaning your husband,
Yes.
told her that Chris couldn't come around.
Yes.
And this falling out was because Chris allegedly cut some trees to clean up the yard at your request, correct?
That and some other things, but that's something you'd have to ask him his opinion.
Okay.
Or I'm not going to answer for him.
Okay. But it would be fair to say you haven't seen the children since she's relocated.
I haven't.
And you haven't sent them a Christmas card.
Oh, yeah. I called to get her address. I texted her to get her address, and she wouldn't give it to me.
Okay. And you haven't.
And I still have their gift cards that I had gotten.
Okay. But you didn't give it to them.
I wasn't allowed to.
I see. Okay. Have you ever been to Titusville? Did you ever come over here?
No.
Okay.
Why am I going to drive 2.5 hours if I'm told I can't see them?
No, I have no further questions, ma'am.
Redirect?
In addition to being told you can't see them, you were denied even having their address, right?
Yeah.
And when you said there was a falling out, and Chris was told he couldn't be around, was that you or was that your husband?
It was my husband.
And this property that we're talking about, was it your husband's property?
It was ours, yes.
Okay. And you had mentioned another home. Were both homes on your property?
Yes, sir. And the reason that I say she lived with us is because we actually were in both houses because the houses are very small. So we had to use, I have 5 people in my home. We had one restroom, and I told you that was part of the deal, is that we had to use that house too. So
You both used both houses?
we used both houses.
Would you see the children on a daily basis?
Yes. Brooke would always come over and see me and play with Max, and she was always at my house.
No further questions.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, stay with us. We do have to squeeze in a break, but up next, we're going to hear the judge's decision in this family custody hearing. Up next. Brother, who is being investigated in connection to the death of Anna. Let's get you back inside the courtroom now. The judge is about to make her ruling.
Not that I'm trying to deny you, Ms. Evanison, of any time to put on your case, but you know, the issue for this court today is whether or not the children in this case are in imminent danger. And I've heard lots of testimony with regard to what happened back in 2024, what happened on the West Coast, but other than the incident that happened on the cruise, I've heard nothing to indicate that Brooke is in imminent danger or harm at this time. How long is expected to remain with the relative?
At this point, we're not sure. We're not sure what the FBI is going to do, whether he's going to be charged federally or whether they're going to turn it over to the state. My client is waiting to hear on that. They're also waiting on some testing results. They've done a bunch of psychological testing and psychiatric testing. They're also waiting to hear about that. And so they don't know at this time how long the child is going to be at her relative's house.
Is there any expectation that he will be coming back to Titusville in the near future?
No.
Okay. All right. Then, based on the evidence that's been presented today, I don't find that there is an emergency and that Brooke is in any imminent risk of harm. I understand that there may be some issues with regard to contempt. I understand that there is a hearing pending on December the 17th before Magistrate Valentin as it relates to the motion for contempt, and I believe an amended motion for contempt has been filed as well. But for my purposes, the only thing that the court was here to hear this morning is the emergency motion for temporary relief, most specifically as to paragraph 17 or 19, when it says the youngest child is at immediate risk of abuse, abandonment, or neglect in the care of the respondent. The court has not heard anything to indicate that there is an imminent risk to Brooke. Now, certainly, if there was a situation where it was returned to the home and is in the home with Brooke, that may be another basis to for a motion to be brought at that time. But so long as no longer in the home, I don't see that there would be any risk to Brooke. So I am, yes, sir, I hear you, Mr. Smith.
I actually didn't say anything yet.
Okay, I like you're about to. So I am going to deny the emergency motion for temporary relief. I will prepare a written order, and I will have that order filed, I would anticipate, by Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Okay, so we just wanted to get to the decision, and I think that I'm going to leave it there. And I'm surprised by the decision. I really am. I'm not sure what you think.
I was just sitting here thinking the same thing, that with everyone's testimony that I've listened to, and this is just my opinion, I would have taken the children out of the home of the mother. Just if nothing else, temporarily.
Yeah. I would have taken like a rather be safe than sorry kind of situation as well. But yeah, look, it's an interesting decision, but I think that like the value of watching the hearing really is just to kind of understand what was going on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change screens, and it's to that screen that was giving some issues before. So I'm really sorry if this goes a little weird, but I'm just going to try it. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. It's not doing what it did before. And then also CJ is here. So we're going to chat a little bit about some of what was coming up in chat yesterday with regards to the possibility of, you know, like questions on whether Timothy Hudson is an incel and how that would work. And if you guys haven't seen our coverage of Elliot Rodgers, I'm going to get the link for that as well. And I'm just trying to get us all into the right order. We're in the wrong order. There we go.
Boom.
Hi, CJ. Yeah. Thank you. You're here. Good.
What's up?
Hi.
StreamYard, huh?
Bad.
I was trying to listen as best as I could. Little bits here and there I was able to pick up on, but it I don't know if anybody remembers me ever talking about this, but the mother sounds a lot like the mother of my daughter. So when she was, so let me give you some background. So me and her were together, and after a few years, see, she was very physically abusive with me. Once we had the baby, once we had the baby, and I'm a dude. I was brought up ever since I can remember. My mom always said it, no matter what, don't ever hit a woman. So that was always imprinted from my mother back in the day because she was a victim of hellacious abuse. And so, when the stuff was happening, she, because I didn't, even if I got hit, I still wouldn't, do anything in return. Never have, never will. And so the mother, like, started using that against me when it came to the physical abuse. So she knew I wasn't going to do anything. So she would go to extremes like hitting me with hammers. I mean, all sorts of shit. Okay. So when my daughter was starting to get old enough and started to recognize the abuse, that's when I was like, okay, I don't want her to grow up thinking that this is normal, because any child, when they grow up in their household, even if it's not normal, it's normal to them. And they grow up thinking that what they are being around is normal. I didn't want her to grow up that way. And so I removed myself from the house. Now, for the first 3 years or so, I would get her. I'd get her for the summers. I would get her for holidays and things like that. And, visitation. But I was doing whatever the mother wanted, right? It got to a point where I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking tired of all this shit. So I just said, I'm not doing this stuff anymore, That's when things changed. That's when she started keeping her from me. That's when I would, just like I heard the dad, she would know I'd be coming to pick her up for the summer. I'd be making these trips, and then I would get there, and all of a sudden it's like, where are you? Oh, we're in Colorado. Sorry, we forgot to tell you. Shit like that. It got to a point where she was keeping her for an extended periods of time. There was stuff in court she knew that I couldn't afford, because child custody lawyers, they're one of the most expensive lawyers out there. So it was very hard for me to even try and be represented in a court. And so it would get to a thing where it's like, okay, well, if you want to see her, then you're going to pay another $100 a month. And okay, fine, I'll sign the fucking paper. It was constant stuff like that, to the point where it just wasn't even like, it got to the point where, like, all of a sudden I couldn't even talk to her on the phone. I couldn't see her, none of this stuff. And when she got about 9 years old, so that happened for a few years, the keeping her from me and all that other stuff. So when she's about 9.5 years old, 9 years old, I got a call one day out of the blue. I got a call from a sheriff. And are you the father of so and so? I was like, yes, I am. What's going on? Well, we just wanted to let you know that we had to put her in temporary custody with the state because I want to let you know what's going on. So all of a sudden, I was like, they started telling me like all of this stuff that the mom was doing, not only to my daughter, but just in general with police officers and all this other stuff. Well, automatically the state will assign counselors and all that stuff. And so she was required to go every single day in the very beginning because they needed to find out what was going on. And so I would get these reports while she's in the state custody. They're trying to figure this stuff out. They're working with me, I'm working with them. I get copies of those counseling reports, every one of them. And I get to see what was talked about, what was said, the conclusion from the counselor, and all this other stuff. That's when I started learning, oh, she was allowing drinking. Oh, she had her on like 9 different freaking medications. Oh, she was keeping her from people. Oh, it was all of this bubble. And here what happened is she was physically, mentally tormenting my daughter. So the stuff that she was doing to me that I never could imagine you could do to any child, she did the same thing to her. And she needed to keep control of having her with her at all times, not letting her go out, not letting me see her, all these different things because she needed to have that bubble of protection of the real shit that was going on inside the home. So, after a couple years of representing myself in court, I couldn't afford a lawyer. I literally had to do all the documents myself. I had to file myself. I had to do everything a lawyer would in child custody. And after a couple years, I was awarded full custody of her finally. And it's crazy all of the stuff that not only what came out, but then also the stuff that came after. A lot of the stuff that she had suppressed still came out through in the counseling sessions that I still had her going until she was 18. This mother right here, when we're listening to the children, we're listening to the adults and they're saying all these things, I'm like, holy shit, this is a carbon copy of my daughter's mother. And so I can imagine what was going inside that household and what those kids were going through. And the fact that she was even allowing them to drink alcohol while administering medication, which means she knows the side effects of the medication already because she's got the information, she knows the doses and when to do it, she's the one administering it. And so it makes me wonder, like, is this, are they going to use this as an excuse for what Tim did? Oh, because not that that's any excuse, because after I got full custody of my daughter, she went from a D failing student on 9 medications, already started to get a rap sheet at 9 years old, already started to get a rap sheet. And when I got full custody of her, then she became a straight A honor roll, merit roll, uh, just totally killed it when it came to being a success. Got her off all the medication, all this other stuff. And so I couldn't, if she had went out and done the same thing, I don't know if I could have said, well, yes, did that contribute? The environment contribute? Of course it did. But it still takes you, you to decide if you're going to do some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to use that as an excuse? And what do you think, as both of you are hearing this, what do you think about the family dynamics and what the family dynamics could have contributed to what took place with Anna?
Well, I'll go first. I do think that they're definitely going to try and use it as an excuse. I think, and that's partly why I wanted to show it, because I really believe that that is what's coming. And I mean, with the way that things have been handled with the case, and I'm not fully clued up on it yet. I'm kind of worried that there are like a lot of strong pointers for the defense when it comes to that. Whether it contributed, I kind of agree with you in that sense, which is that, you know, the environment couldn't have helped. I think that it did send him over the edge if he is guilty. But I mean, I personally believe he is, and I think that all of the factors combined, you know, with the drinking, the meds, and the instability of the meds, and this resentment that I think that she was kind of feeding towards their father, who I think seems like a good, genuine person who just wanted to try and be their dad. I think that of course, that all contributed. Um, but there must have been, in my opinion, some kind of a predisposition, and the environment aggravated it to the point that it kind of just exploded that way. It's just like, I mean, there's a lot of people who in that situation would not have done what he did. I think that he was definitely predisposed, but he needed the care and good parenting and a stable environment for it to not turn out that way. So I feel it's, you know, if you're going with nature nurture, I think it's both. I really do. I think that he always could have done it, but I think that better parenting could have stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bring it up,
Uh,
like, the reason I said what I said is because the soil is the person. The soil is the soul. Now, what kind of miracle grow gets sprinkled on that soil? The soul, the soil, whatever kind of miracle grow, whether it's good or bad or whatever that is, that's what I'm saying. Yes, it's not that it was the reason, because the soil is the soil. It's what gets sprinkled and mixed in with the soil is what contributes to the soil either growing a bunch of weeds or having beautiful flowers. And so, yeah, it's a mixture. That's what I think too. What do you think, Jennifer? Uh-oh. Is there something?
oh, is there a delay?
Oh,
I
Oh, it
think
must
I'm
be a
delayed.
major delay.
we've been battling quite a delay today, so
Oh, really?
Yeah.
we have to leave gaps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I see a lot of red flags in a family dynamic. And if you've been a family that is kind of toxic and has got problems similar to this, you know, you can see it better than the next person. And I have some issues with the alcohol use, the drugs, or
Oh, yeah.
pills, the medication. Um, but I really see that when she remarried, it seems like her and her new husband had some sort of toxic relationship going on. And I think it bled into how they were raising their kids. I think they were giving their kids a little too much freedom. I think they were too involved in their new marriage. They may have wanted to be friends with the children, so all the children wanted to be around, so they're feeding them alcohol. Um, I don't believe that she was not drinking on the cruise ship, the mother, like she claims, just one drink a day. She went to sleep awfully early on more than one occasion there. Did not give medication to her kids. So I think there's an alcohol issue going on for sure in the house. I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of bullying on the dad's side. And I do feel for him, and you can hear it in his voice that he is trying to see those kids. I think he's genuinely concerned, but he's also afraid of her, that he's not going to speak up and argue because he doesn't know the retaliation he's going to get from her. And I think for his kids' sake, that he's let some things go because he doesn't want to make it harder on them. But at the same time, I think that contributed to what happened to Anna. Is everyone was so focused on the parents and their issues and infighting and using the kids as a game that they didn't pay much attention to what was actually happening. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we're going to find out that that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. It's the same exact stuff that I was reading in these counseling reports, you know. Um, her mother, it was so bad that it got to a point that her mother wasn't even getting up until 2 in the afternoon. My daughter, um, 6, 7, 8, and 9 was literally getting herself up for school, getting ready, and catching the bus on her own or having one of her mom's friends and it's just like, yeah, there's definitely a freaking alcohol problem. Automatic. Um, and when it comes to the dad, the Anna's dad, uh, wasn't she like a babysitter of his or something? I can't remember if I'm thinking about another case. How did the mom and dad get together? How did Anna's dad and Tim's mom
Okay.
get together? Wasn't she like a babysitter or something? Or
No, no.
well,
So sorry. His first wife was Anna's biological mother. Her name was
yeah,
Heather Wright. His second wife was Anna's first stepmother, Tabitha. She was the
I'm
babysitter.
talking
But
about
they,
Tim's mother, not any of the other ones. I'm talking about
oh,
current dad of Anna and current mother of Tim. Those two are
yes,
together, right? That's who I'm
yes.
talking about. How did them two get together?
Yes, so after he divorced the former babysitter, he then married his third wife. So she's not the
Yes.
babysitter.
How did they get together though? How did they
Uh, I do not know.
Oh, there hasn't been talked about? Okay. Because the reason I ask is because that is going to come into play on why he was being submissive to her. There's a reason. So, a guy does not, especially if you both have children, okay? A guy, unless he's a piece of shit, is not gonna kick it with a woman like that. He's gonna sit back and go, "Well, there's a lot of red flags here, and I don't think it's very um, I don't think that's the kind of atmosphere I want my child being around." You see a mother, yeah, you can drink. I can imagine he knew that the kids were allowed to drink very early, very early, and so there's red flags. There's red flags that should have popped up to him if he wasn't a piece of shit. That would have said, I can't have my child be around this. And so the fact that they're together and the fact that they're partying together and the fact that they let the kids drink and the fact that he's going along with everything that the mother is allowing, why is he being so submissive? And that's why I ask how they got together, is because I feel like that is the reason why he saw the red flags and went, oh, that's cool anyway, and also contributed to the behavior and the environment that Anna was around. It's no wonder this happened to Anna. Because the first moment that you even hear from a boyfriend, ex boyfriend, that some weird shit's going on in your daughter's bedroom with your step kid, that's when you start to make some changes, if anything, at the least. And the fact that they allowed these kids to stay in a room by themselves and didn't separate. Look, if there's issues going on and you don't know what's going on yet, and people are in counseling and you're trying to figure it out, okay, guess what, mom? I'm gonna have the boys. We're gonna stay in one room, and you and the girls, however, whatever, can stay in the other. You keep it separate. You don't allow. You're mixing alcohol and then that kind of situation, you should already think that it could definitely be a possibility of what happened is going to happen because you're allowing the environment. You're being warned about the kid doing weird ass shit, and then you're allowing these kids to stay in a cruise ship room by themselves, and you're allowing them to drink, and we know that you and dad are getting drunk as shit in your room, and you don't want to be bothered, so then you're leaving them unattended while you're intoxicated too. How could you not think that something like this could happen? Because it's 1%, and the 1% took place. So I don't know. I feel maybe, I don't know, and you guys can correct me, you and Rosee. I feel like the dude is a piece of shit already, regardless of what happened to Anna. When we're starting to hear about all the stuff that was going on before and things that were allowed, to me it just sounds like he's a piece of shit, and that's why it's like they were the perfect match. He was going to roll with her and do whatever she wanted to do. He was going to be cool with it. She got to do whatever she wanted to do, and they got to control their own little atmospheric game. And they just didn't want to get caught. And normally what happens when people get caught this way is there's a crime like this, or there starts to be a huge rap sheet, like there's a sign. And so I don't know, do you think that the dad was a piece of shit? Like, because you guys have studied this more than I have, you guys know more about this case than I do. I'm just looking at some things from the surface with minimal information, being able to listen choppily here and there. I don't know, to me already it seems like he was a piece of shit.
Absolutely. That's I think that kind of goes without question. I mean, I wasn't sure, but as soon as I heard what happened to the oldest child when he was essentially kidnapped by that couple, I couldn't agree with you more.
I was surprised that the courts didn't get involved in the kidnapping issue, especially after hearing the older son, talk about that in court. But I have to agree that the he's a big POS in my opinion. And I hesitate talking about him because I have so many strong feelings and opinions about this guy.
Say it. Say it.
But I have a problem getting past the fact that another father came to him and told him that something was going on with his daughter and the step
Whoa.
brother. And for him to just ignore that, I can't get past that there's no questioning the daughter. Hey, is this happening to you? Is Thomas bothering you? I need to know what's going on. He didn't question Thomas, or Timothy. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry about that, Timothy. We'll just refer to him as the stepbrother, but I can't get past that. I feel that is where he ultimately let her down. And I really hope he's replaying that conversation in his head over and over and over. And I hope it clicks that, I had an opportunity to save my daughter. maybe this wouldn't have happened if I had listened and not just laughed it off or not thought that it was anything but a rumor or speculation. You know, that's where this whole thing falls apart for me, is that one conversation that he had with another father, letting the drinking happen. You know, married or not, when it comes to children, there's a right and a wrong, and you have to stand up to a spouse at some point. You have to. Otherwise, you give kids alcohol and too much freedom, and they get injured. Bad things happen. And as a parent, to watch your wife or your husband feed your children alcohol, and you don't say, well, maybe I need to question my marriage. Maybe this isn't the right fit for me and my children. And I didn't see any of that. I saw excuses. The kids were roomed together because the travel agent said to do that. Well, the travel agent doesn't know your family dynamic. They're there to make money. Exactly. Uh, as a parent, you have to say, well, you know, whatever she thinks, we're not gonna we're not gonna do to our children something that is gonna harm them or be inappropriate. And you're on vacation, you want to have a good time. And I saw no parental responsibility.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't think they knew where those kids were half the time on that ship. I really
No,
don't. I think the mom
no,
was drunk and in the
that's why
room.
Anna was allowed to have sex.
Yeah.
I mean, because why would if I mean, that's why. I mean, if she was around the family, yeah, you can go off by yourself, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's just yes, she's almost 18 and this and that and sow your oats, but at the same time, like your dad is your dad, like okay, yeah, she's you think about like like with my daughter, yeah, she's a grown adult, but to think of like if we're on a family vacation and she's 17 years old, damn straight I'm still gonna be watching her like a hawk, man, because I don't want her to get hurt. I don't want her to do something stupid. Um, but they're not. When it comes to the dad now sitting back thinking, man, if I would have, he ain't thinking that shit whatsoever. He's not thinking that shit at all. He's thinking it's somebody else's fucking fault and always will. Now I didn't know that another dad warned the dad. So that's even more fucked up and he's even more of a piece of shit. There's a reason why the kids never said anything and why nobody knew about anything. Because when the children are in that environment, okay, so when you're talking about the mother, okay? The mother, there's a reason why the mother has been able to do the shit that she's been doing this whole time, because those types of people are very good at manipulation. Okay, there's a reason why the state didn't investigate further. There's a reason why the kids didn't mention anything. There's a reason why nobody knew about what was going on, because of the mother's manipulation. These children know, and any of these kids that are in these situations, they're already told, you better not fucking say anything or this. And they know. And they grow up in that environment and they see the manipulation right in front of them with the dad, with other people, with grandma, with even people out in public. They see the manipulation. They see how powerful the mother is when it comes to the stories and being able to keep the secrets and the dominance and the control. So the kids know, because let's be honest, when most time a child will go to some kind of authority figure, what usually happens? They have to first ask the parents questions, right?
Yeah.
They don't. It's why most people that observe a crime and there's no suspect won't come forward, is because they don't want to be the one to say something, and then the person that committed the crime isn't even in custody, and next thing you know, they're the next fucking one that gets killed. That's why that stuff happens. And so these children already know the environment. They already know we better keep our mouth shut or we're going to get more stuff of what we don't like or feels good or whatever. And so that's how they're able to keep the secret. So I guarantee you, when the kidnapping thing came up and they got interviewed, the children, I guarantee you, were probably like, no, everything's good. Yeah, no. It's just, I don't know. I think it was just because the mom, you better tell them it's a silly argument. You better say this. The mom already knows because she controls the kids too. And the kids, I'm going to implant the things that they're going to say. So then when they get interviewed, that's what they're going to stick to because they know if they don't stick to it, they're going to get the hell that comes
Yeah.
afterwards because they know they're going to believe the adults first
Yeah.
before they start to eventually believe the child, and the child knows that because they've already seen it. So that is, to me, is why or makes sense why nothing was investigated further. Yes, it should have been. And that's shame on the child courts or the child system because they're a piece of shit too. Because the way that they treated me until I got full custody was fucked up. The child custody system in this country is a piece of shit too because look at how many kids slip through these cracks when the child welfare system didn't step
Yeah.
in and do what they were supposed to do. How many kids went missing, got murdered, got abducted, all of these different got abused. All of these different things is because these social workers ain't doing their damn job and haven't for years, decades. That's why that
Yeah.
shit's
And I think that that's like that was demonstrated with this because I'm not okay with the outcome of what we just watched. The judge was like, she can stay there. That was the outcome because the suspect is not living there. The little girl can go back to that home. And I think that from the evidence and the testimony that was given, I mean, I'm not a legal professional. I just think that was an incredibly wrong decision. I think that she should have been placed somewhere
Well,
safer.
we have to remember this because it goes back to what I just said. We have to remember this though. When these kids are getting interviewed, no, everything's good. Oh, her boyfriend was probably just making it up because he's jealous of Anna, and Tim, he was just playing around. It wasn't even like what was being warned about. So that's, yes, the courts and the child systems definitely are fucked up. But what I can say is that, like, for a judge, because she has to be corrupt if she ruled this way. But the only reason she could have ruled this way is because the children are repeating, downplaying, sticking to a story that they know won't get them in trouble or get them investigated. So I can't necessarily put it on the judge. I would have to see more,
Yeah.
but we're talking about things after all this stuff happened, and that judge, probably not knowing all the stuff that's going to happen, is looking at the situation and going, well, the children are saying that it's not a big deal, so it's probably not a big deal. And it's unfortunate. It's the manipulation that they have. But yeah,
Yeah.
they should have did something about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
definitely
heard an
agree with
awful
you.
lot of really bad things. Yeah, in that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Heard a lot of bad things. Oh.
I don't understand the judge making the decision. Yeah, she was there hearing what those children were saying in that trial or
So they
hearing
weren't
about the
being
kidnapping, right?
quiet.
The judge was listening. Not this time, were they? I mean, the oldest son spoke up and talked about
Yes.
being kidnapped, right? In this,
Yeah.
what we just watched, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Am
I
I
didn't see that.
confused?
So no, I didn't see that part.
Okay.
I just assumed the judge ruled that way because all the kids are under
Oh.
that kind of control, but the oldest son spoke up.
Well,
So what did they try to paint the oldest son as somebody that was just a troublemaker and couldn't be believed? I don't understand how a judge, if there's a kidnapping, I don't understand how the judge doesn't, and the state didn't have people go dig even further into that. Like that's a kid saying
yeah,
this is
that's my
happening. Like
point.
what?
Yeah, that's my point. She heard him saying this and still decided it wasn't something, maybe a continuance, maybe they need to look deeper into it, maybe they need to check to see what's really going on. Then you've got her, the mom's stepmother, testifying to alcohol use. No one seemed to think that that might have been an issue. Hey, this might be a red flag. What's this all about? So you've got the ex-husband, talking about not being able to see his kids. And I don't understand, with all of that combined, that the decision was made to keep those kids in that house. To me, all of that was a red flag. And I think I would have made sure everyone just temporarily was safe and separated until I could figure out what was going on in that home. Because
Well,
there's a lot of
that's
negative
probably what they did.
stories being told, and it's this, they're similar. The stories are similar. So there's a
Yeah.
pattern of something going on in that house, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. If there's a pattern, because they automatically, I guarantee you, like I'd like to see the CPS reports because I guarantee you CPS showed up. Guarantee you, and I guarantee you that the children were interviewed. I would like to see the CPS reports because, like I said, like the CPS, so when it comes to the children and the court system, the last thing that they are going, unless there's some kind of emergency, the last thing that they are going to do is remove the child from the home. Okay. My ex was arrested 6 times while we were in court hearings when my daughter was placed in a temporary home while we were going through the court system because again they couldn't rip her even though it was the right thing. It was in the middle of a school semester. They couldn't just rip her out of the school and make her go to a new okay, we're going to have you in a temporary state, home, and we're going to keep you there until the semester until we see if there's progress with this. And it was at the end of the school year. Okay. So they are not going to do anything drastic, pull a kid, move a kid. They're not doing that until there is legitimate, like straight up founded situation going on. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Is it right? No. But at the same time, they're thinking about the kid and uprooting and the stress and all that other stuff. And so I get it. Um, but that could be like the judge could really like, okay, there are reports. The judge is not Child Protective Services. I'm going to let the people that are supposed to be educated in that field handle that because you're dealing with children. I'm going to let them handle that. And then it's up to them to do the investigating and the questioning and all that stuff. So I guarantee that Child Protective Services was there after that, interviewed. And I'm wondering, if stuff is being brought up, they're still going to take into account all the other children's words. And if one child is standing up and saying something, And the other kids are like, no, everything's going on. That could be a piece of shit CPS worker going, well, this older sibling is just, he's angry and he's got a
Mhm.
issue of making things up or blowing things out of proportion. But it could also be the same thing where, because we heard about all these other cases from CPS slipping through cracks and then a child's gone or murdered. It could be one of these things where it was a lazy ass
Mhm.
CPS worker that sat there and went, "Oh, I don't know, all these other kids ain't saying nothing. I'm not gonna push it too much," when they should have. If you have one kid saying something, they should have drilled the family, because I guarantee you a child, no matter how scared they are, no matter how much they know what they're going to come back to, if they speak up and say anything, children are not adults. Eventually, that child is going to slip something out, and then that's the little thing that you can attach to and further ask the questions, because the people that are interviewing, counseling, and asking the questions, talking to the children, they already know the mind games that they have to play that the child can't see in order to extract that information. It's what county did this take place in? And without looking it up, we could probably look up the county and look up the Child Protective Services statistics, and I bet you it wouldn't be good.
Yeah. And also look, I mean, this proceeding was the first of two. So I think that they determined that it wasn't an emergency, which I disagree with. It wasn't an emergency to remove the child. And then I think it continued. There was another hearing that came afterwards, and I don't know the outcome of that yet. So I suppose it's the first part of what we're looking at. But I agree with you, like especially in terms of looking at the county, I'm actually going to do that and let you know.
Yeah, because like the dad that really cared, he could have filed an emergency temporary custody order. Okay? He could have filed one, but the thing is you can't just file it with here you can't just file it with, yeah, she's letting kids drink alcohol. They're still going to go at, are you allowed? No, we're not allowed to drink it. But, like if you have, like a child and another child that's coming out and saying something, there's ways that you can file an emergency temporary custody and at least get temporary custody of the child for 2-3 weeks. There's going to be a time period until the court hearing comes up, and then the court hearing is going to, both sides need to show proof, and that's when you can literally do substance tests with the children and find out if they were, if they're taking their medication like they're supposed to, too much, too little, if they're partaking in substances, a lot of that other stuff. And eventually, when the child is in that temporary emergency custody, they know that they're safe. And so they'll be able to say stuff because they know they don't have to try and go to bed that night with that mom or that kind of environment, you
Mhm.
know? So, I do feel for the dad, but if he wasn't, and if he tried to file an emergency temporary custody and got denied, that it could be the same reason why maybe something didn't get pushed further when it comes to the Child Protective Services. But honestly, I really, I just feel like it's all going to go back to Child Protective Services and not doing what they were supposed to do. And that's why everything ended up happening the way that it did. It's happened too many times already in this country with our Child Protective Services, and it's a fucking epidemic and has been for 2 decades. It's never going
Yeah.
to get better. Never.
Yeah. I do have to be honest, I don't know a lot about your
I
guys'
don't think
child
it
protective
will.
services. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
it's a catastrophic failure, in my opinion. And it has let so many innocent kids down. And you see news article and newspapers and, missing kid posters over and over. And it's almost like a new one every few days. And you just wonder, when does everyone get fed up and have had enough and things start changing?
It's the
How
system.
many of these missing posters? Yeah.
The system has to ultimately fail in order for anybody to take accountability. Isn't that the problem with Child Protective Services right now, is accountability? Right? And so unless
It's
they
a
have
major
yeah,
issue.
and unless they have accountability themselves, it's never going to get fixed. And we're looking at it, 2 decades of shit CPS and murders, abductions, assaults with children, even in state homes, because they're not properly checking up on the, you know what I mean? Like, and has there been an overhaul? No, there hasn't. And
Mm-mm.
there's how many cases and how many reasons in this country for there to be an overhaul, and there still hasn't been one. That's why I'm saying it's going to have to ultimately fail. Like, it's going to have to be where it's like a like uh, a a community-based organization and not a state-based organization. It's going to have to be your own people from your own community helping your own community. Because think about Jesse McFadden, a case that happened a few years ago because CPS wasn't doing their job. And then a bunch of kids get AR'd and murdered because CPS wasn't doing their job. Like, it's so many things. So it'll never get better. It'll
Mm-hmm.
never get better. And it's sad because they're supposed to be there for the kids. And I'm speaking from experience. And I can tell you, I was the dad that cared like crazy. And, I got treated like a piece of shit from the state. When look what happened when I was able to finally get full custody. She blossomed into a success instead of being a disaster. When you know what I'm saying? I had references, I had so many things. I mean, never, no record. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how does this happen? How does this happen? They put me through living fucking hell for 2.5 years. I lost patches of my hair because I was so stressed out because of the shit and the hoops and all the stuff that I had to do, when all you had to do was look at her mother, and her mother's got a rap sheet fucking how long? Even to the point where she was multiple times got arrested for punching police officers. And you're going to sit here and go, hmm, which parent, you see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
messed up. They don't take care of dads. They don't. They screw dads over big time. It's not just abuse, abduction, and all that other stuff. They literally tear families apart because they look at a father as a secondary citizen. It's messed up. It really
Yeah.
is. The only way that it's going to get better is when people say, we're not funding this anymore. It's going to have to go away, and they're going to have to make a new one, and they're going to have new people running it, new people, because it's going to keep happening with the same way it's been ran and the people running it this whole time. I hate to say it, it's never going to get better unless there's a new one. That's the only way.
No. But what is your thoughts then once you have that new system in place? You get a judge like we saw just a few minutes ago who decides that alcohol use for minors is going on, there's possible kidnapping going on, and you've got one sibling in the house taking out other siblings in the house, and still decided that was a very safe environment for the remaining daughter.
It's the
So even
people
with that
that
system
run
in
it.
place, then you put them in front of a judge.
Yeah. It's the people that run
Yeah.
it. Okay, so most people, most most social workers care. That's why they do the job, because it's a really tough job. You have a lot of cases,
Mhm.
you got to manage a lot of different things. It is a tough job because you're not, you're not, making decisions about a McDonald's burger patty. You're making a decision about a child right now, right? So it's a tough job. It's the people above them. So it's the managers, the supervisors, the people that are running the company. They're the ones that are not holding the CPS social workers accountable. And what I mean by that is if a social worker has a little checkbox on a piece of paper that says, "Okay, this son said that there was this kidnapping incident." And then they put it in and then they just, the social worker doesn't, the social worker that don't care, that's just there to collect a check, is going, "Oh, okay, well, they didn't see," that's the supervisor or the manager's job to look at that paperwork and go, "So Sally, we saw here that you noted that there was a child that talked about an incident with kidnapping. So how come there's no more information founded on this paperwork? What's that about?" "Oh, well, I interviewed the other kids and they didn't see, I just didn't see that there was anything going on. They didn't really say anything was happening." "Oh, okay. All right. All right. Just let me know if anything comes up again in the future." It's that fucking person's problem because they should have said, "Well, Sally, don't you think you need to dig a little bit deeper? Because
Right.
how often does a child bring up an instance about kidnapping?" Hmm. Th- the social workers not getting held accountable, being able to take a check. Oh, guess what? There can be some messed up shit, and I just sit here. Maybe I didn't have time to interview the other kids, but on my paper, I'm gonna write it down because
Yeah.
I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, and I was off spending time over here. And yeah, I was supposed to spend 2 hours with the family, but really I only spent an hour and 15 minutes because I was spending 45 doing something else, but I don't want work to know. So I'm just going to put it down like, yeah, I interviewed the other kid. That shit happens too. But it's up to the people above them to go, "Social worker, why
Mhm.
didn't you dig deeper?" Because I guarantee you, if they would have dug deeper, then there would be more stuff to put on that piece of paper. The children would have been saved. It's the people that are above it too that are allowing it to happen. That's why I'm saying you could say, "Oh, it's all these piece of shit social workers, and you know what? We're just going to hire a whole bunch of new ones. Go ahead. Just we're going to keep running the same thing." It's going to continue to happen. Those social workers, some of them probably come in with a great attitude, and then all of a sudden they get hit with this humongous workload, and they eventually start to, "Well, it's not going to really hurt too bad if I just slip this under the rug and act like I didn't
Yeah.
pay attention." They're going to get tired. They're going to get resentful. They're going to feel overworked, underpaid. "I'm not getting paid enough to do three people's jobs. I'm not," you see, then the resentment comes in. There's a lot of things that mix together, but still, it's up to management. It's up to the people in charge that should sit back and go, "Sally, there's not enough on this report. We need you to go," you know?
Yeah.
That's the huge and they're not going to take themselves. They're going to let other people be expendable, and they're not going to take accountability. And once the people that don't think they're expendable are expendable, that's when the change happens. It's the fat cat sitting on the top that continues to eat all that extra food because everybody down there is getting blamed for everything. And I get their food, and I get their food, and I get their food. It's probably a bigger task than I mean, we're talking about the whole country, but it's got to start somewhere. You have to start it somewhere.
Yeah, and the most important part of that sentence is you have to start
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. You've got to
Somebody's
start
got to do it.
figuring out
There,
how to overhaul it. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
There's
alarming when you look into the statistics of how many children that CPS has let down. It's
it's a
pretty
lot.
alarming.
It's a lot, and we need an overhaul,
Yeah.
and
And I don't have to tell the families that go through it that, yeah.
Yeah.
it's going to take one county. One county is going to sit there and go, no, we're not doing this state shit. We'll work with the state.
Yeah.
We're not, because it's part of the problem. It's part of the problem. You think about, look at all and maybe you probably don't know this, Rosie, but how many states are getting in trouble for fraud? Billions of dollars of fraud. Where do you think they're pulling money from? State-funded programs, welfare, child services. Two of the major ones they're pulling from. Medicaid and Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
They're pulling from these programs to then make up for the waste that they're spending, so the waste isn't that apparent, so they don't get caught. But now they're getting caught, and it's like, well, damn, yes, they're pulling money from all these programs because people can't stand up and go, hey, you're not getting the money you're supposed to, so we're not gonna go by any of this. No, they have to. Like people on welfare, sorry, you're getting $35 less this month, just because they can't sit there and go, I'm gonna strike and I'm gonna demand. They can't do that. They know, okay, I guess I have to take $35 less. That's why they pull from these programs, because people can't say anything to stop it from being pulled. And Child Protective Services is one of them.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about it with your guys' states, but I mean, I can say that it happens here too. It's pretty much the same thing, and I think that it's a blueprint for how it goes when it comes to corruption.
Yeah. And it's sad when it's supposed to be for the children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're supposed to have a fair shot, and you don't even offer that to them. And that's what your job is, and you
Yeah.
don't even do it. It's very, just speaking from my own experience, and it's just horrible. It's horrible what they do to dads, especially. It's wrong.
Yeah. And I think that it is with this case. I think that everything is playing in to the outcome, whether direct or indirect. I think that it all had a role in what ultimately happened.
Yeah, sorry. I know we were supposed to talk about incel stuff, but that Child
No.
Protective Services
Yeah.
stuff was pissing me off, and I'm like, dude,
I
I'm gonna take another opportunity to tell people what it's really like.
Yeah, and that was all the more valuable. We can talk about incels another time.
Oh, I want to talk about, because when you guys were having your show yesterday, and I was hearing I was hearing like the atmosphere that he was growing up around. I was hearing about diagnoses. I was hearing about activities, and I was, and when you do this to your own stepsister, I was hearing a lot about the incel characteristics and tendencies and traits and things. And because I was having a conversation with somebody else yesterday about the incel theory before your show. It was crazy, because before your show I was having a conversation with somebody else about the incel theory, Idaho 4 and the Elliot Rodger connection that we were talking about back in the day. And it was crazy because then literally your show yesterday, and I started hearing you mention and bring up certain things. And that's when I'm like, holy shit, is this kid an incel?
It's a good question
And then
because
the stepsister was the easy target for it. I mean,
Mm.
that's your hatred. You blame all women on her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, damn, was this an easy target for this kid because it was the source of his anger, the source of his rejection. I'm sure he was denied earlier because, like, what kid, like, okay, if you got the hots for your stepsister, you're not biological. You know what I mean? Shit happens. If you got the hots for your stepsister and she's like, no, 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 and you don't go venture off somewhere else, I mean, it's weird to even say that because even if it's not blood, I just couldn't. I mean, I would look at her as my fucking sister, even if she's not
Right.
blood, right? So, but the fact that you don't venture off to another female or venture
Yeah.
off somewhere else and you stick to her, to me, that just doubles down on incel even more because okay, that's why you didn't go somewhere else because you don't have the access that you do with the stepsister. Because if an incel wants access, the incel is usually trying to get access from somebody that doesn't stay in the same house.
Yeah, and what I think is really interesting about that point is when we were covering the Elliot Rogers stuff, what stood out to me a lot was his resentment in the manifesto for other people's happiness and attractiveness
Mm-hmm.
being flaunted at him. And
Yeah.
I feel like by the parents getting married and the stepsister being in his space, he probably blamed her for being in his space. And then it was further like properly in his space, like they were in this tiny room together. It's not a big room. I've seen the picture, and it's I can
Yeah, they're
imagine when
usually
we
small.
yeah. So
Mhm.
when we were covering that stuff with Elliot Rogers, and he was so resentful, basically for just their existence. Like he was
Them being
mad at
happy. Yeah.
yeah, like he was just mad at people for being happy and pretty where he could see it. And I can see that with this because of the proximity and the fact that she was just brought into his life as from his perspective, as a stepsister, and he must have had that growing resentment that he just had to deal with it, like deal with her being around and being really good looking and not wanting him. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I understand what you're saying a lot when it comes to the manifesto that we covered all those years ago.
Yeah, even the autism, you know what I'm saying? The autism is a factor because you think about it, the incel, why is the incel have the problems in the first place? Because of social awkwardness, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Like, so even you factor that in too. Um the atmosphere of the home, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what the medication, because like my daughter was on 9 fucking medications she didn't even need to be on, because once I got her out to the doctor out here and we started talking about it, and she's like, honestly, like, she was looking at all the reports and she's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, she was on this medication because of what she was going through at home. That's why she was having the symptoms to have to take the medication, is because of everything she was going on at home. And so I can imagine the kind of medication that maybe these kids might have been on and they didn't even need to be on it. And it was a way for things to be manipulated even more. And it makes me wonder, what did this, like I said, the soil is the soil. If you have it in you, you have it in you. You don't need a shitty home life. You don't need drugs. You don't need shit. If you have it in you, you got it in you. It's the miracle grow that gets put on that soil. It makes me wonder what the drugs and also the combination of alcohol with the medication, what it did to all these children. Because anytime you take a pill, you're replacing something that is produced naturally inside your own body. And when you take that pill and your body goes, "Oh, I don't have to produce this no more cuz I get fed it every day." Well, guess what? Your body's not going to produce it anymore. So then
Yeah.
you're manipulating medication, taking it, giving it, taking it, giving it. That also has an effect on the brain.
Yeah.
You know? And so it makes me wonder. And then also with the alcohol, you're not supposed to, not because you're going to get even more tipsy, because it can have a chemical effect reaction inside your body, your blood system, your organs, whatever. That's not meant to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, like, the presence of the medication, what medication, and the fact that it was mixed with alcohol, what it did to, I guess, make this unfortunate event happen quicker and happen with more of a brutal effect. But the drug and the alcohol and being treated like shit as a kid isn't going to make you R somebody and stuff them under something and smash their phone and try and hide evidence and then claim amnesia like Mackenzie Shirilla. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen. That's in
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But it would definitely. I see how it would play a role, and I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
also significant that the medication wasn't consistent. I won't say the medications, but I'll say that in the hearing we watched, the father said that he was not happy with the side effects, and that's all he said. And I do think that that alludes to something more that he probably wanted to touch on but didn't. And the medications that he was on, there are very strong side effects. They're not the same in everyone, but they can cause a lot.
Nausea, yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Not
Stuff
only because it can cause depression, it can cause feelings of anger, and it shouldn't be taken with
I wouldn't
alcohol. And
be
I'm not.
surprised if the dad wasn't drugged in the food from the mom with some of the medication she was supposed to give the kids. I wouldn't be surprised if she did it, if she used some of that medication to then
Mhm.
feed the family and the dad was drugged up too.
I mean, she wasn't
This
giving it
mom needs to be
consistently.
held just as much as this kid.
Yeah,
Not that, she didn't R and murder anybody, but you know what? She's an accessory. She really is
yeah,
an accessory to this crime.
yeah, yeah. And I feel that about the father too. I think that
Yeah.
they all contributed.
Mhm. They need to that I hope it happens. I really do. I hope that it gets to a point where things come out and the mom and dad need to be held accountable too. They are definitely, you allowed this atmosphere to allow this
Hmm.
act to take place. They
Yeah,
they had all the warning signs
Mhm.
and they just put that little bridge together. Oh, go ahead, it's fine. It ain't gonna bust. No, it's good. Like they laid it all out there. They put it out there so these kids could walk across that bridge, not not break, and everything happened with the way that it went down. And it really makes me feel bad for Anna because it really makes me wonder what she was going through, period. And it really makes me feel sad for her because she probably felt so alone even around the people that were supposed to love her. She probably felt so alone, like everybody was, she couldn't, she was just by herself in her own um logic thinking,
yeah,
being a good person kind of thinking.
Mhm.
And and a young impressionable female that should have a parental figure to guide her, um and to be that alone. I feel bad, like, that she had to grow up with that. Like to
Yeah.
where your dad don't even stand up for you. You know what I mean? You know you're going through this shit and you got people reaching out to the family and nothing happens. My God. What
Yeah.
else did they allow these kids to go through that
Yeah.
they might not have even known? Because a lot of these situations where these parents are like this, a lot of these situations, the children get abused because the parents ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and there's a friend around, and there's a family member or a friend, and it's just you hear about that too much too. I just
Yeah.
It's sad
Yeah.
to think about what she's going through.
And
Yeah.
this is the last time I'm gonna butt in because I know Jennifer's on a terrible
Mhm.
delay and I've been cutting her off.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
no. So one thing that I can just say about Anna and what she was going through, based on her social media and stuff like that, is that she had a lot of difficult feelings towards her biological mom, and she, in a sense, in a lot of her posts, was quite grateful to her dad and for raising her, and but she had these issues with her mom and her mom's substance use and stuff like that. But I don't know if that is necessarily the whole picture. That is how Anna perceived it, and it's a little bit strangely similar to how once Chantal and Chris got married, it's a little bit similar to how Chantal's children started behaving towards their father. And Anna's biological mother says that she was kept from Anna. So there's a lot of strange things going on, and it was all just very confusing. Oh, you're muted.
How long was Chantel and Anna's dad together for? Just a few years?
I think a year.
Okay. That's probably why she said that her dad raised her good, is because, and that's probably why she wasn't around her mother, is because her mother probably had substance issues. She didn't need to be around that because it's not good. So, and he probably did raise her right. I mean, look at how she was, like she was a success already, right? She's, look at her. She's beautiful, just about to graduate, was going to go to college, a very good college. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your grades, he probably did take care of her. And that's why I was asking in the beginning, like what made the mom, Chantel, whatever, what made Chantel and Anna's dad get together, and what made him stick with her? The reason, I don't know, there's like it's almost like the mom, it's almost like Chantel had something on Anna's dad, and that's why the dad all of a sudden was allowing all this wild ass shit to happen around his daughter. I just don't see how a dad can let that shit happen. Even if it's just, hey, I don't know if it's true or not. Guess what? I'm going to take the necessary steps and precautions, even if it's just a frickin' possibility. I'm taking the necessary steps and precautions to make sure it don't become a possibility. And for him not to do those things, it just makes me think like the mom has something on him. Because I don't even understand why the dude's not standing up in front of the frickin', at a corner of the street screaming, why isn't this kid in jail? Why isn't my daughter, her justice being handled? There would be so many things that were taking place right now and they're not. And so it's almost like he's got something on her. He knows something, or he took part in something. I don't know. I mean, I did see some stuff about the babysitter. The babysitter that he did marry was underage and wasn't supposed to say nothing until, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me wonder, did what the if he was willing to do that, maybe he did that to somebody else, and Maybe I don't know. It's almost like the mom has something on the dad. I don't see how he acts this way. I just don't.
Yeah. There's something going on there with him.
There's has to
Like
be.
I said, I already don't like him just because of the fact that he didn't take Anna and the stepbrother situation seriously. To me, that was all it took to. No, I have
Yeah.
nothing nice to say about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. When something like that is being mentioned,
I would
like,
like to hear from him.
well,
Yeah,
and it
I think
can't
he
be
should
the only
speak.
time. Sorry.
It's the delay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's all right. It can't be the only time that they noticed that the son was being that way to Anna. It had to be so obvious when somebody came to them and said something, they had to have seen it out in public. They had to have. There's no way that the kid just kept it for closed doors. He would have been pushing boundaries out in public because then she can push away less, right? If they're in a room, oh, she can
Mhm.
throw him off the bed, she can push him away less. If he's just, quote, playing around while they're at an amusement park, she can't treat him like that as much because then she doesn't want to look like the one that's starting the problem because the little manipulative bastard is doing shit that he, what do you call it? It's where it's not obvious, but it's like the two people that are involved know this is some fucked up shit, but the manipulative bastards like doing it in a certain way where he's like, "Oh, mom, we're just playing around," like whatever that word is. Even if you saw that stuff, you had once somebody reaches out to you and says, "Hey, this is happening," you automatically go, "Oh, whoa, okay, I thought that was just playing around. No, this might be real stuff here." They had to have seen that. Yes, thank you, gaslighting. They
Yeah.
had to have seen that. They had to have. It wouldn't have been like all of a sudden out of the blue, uh, dude killed her. Uh, no, it gets led up to that. The rage and the passion that it
Mhm.
takes to commit that crime, not only RN somebody but killing them, that takes a lot of rage and a lot of passion, and that's not built overnight. That is something that is a gradual mountain. And once you get to the top of that mountain, then it's the jump off. It's a gradual road. They had to have seen signs. Had to have. So the dad hasn't came out and said anything. The Anna's dad. I know he's not coming out saying something about
The
her
last,
getting justice,
yeah.
but
No, the last thing I heard that he spoke about was just not wanting to be at the trial and be back on that ship again.
why?
He was
Why?
so
So you can make sure your
traumatized by
daughter gets.
finding his daughter's naked body.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't think she was naked. I thought when they showed up,
No,
she was
that's what
fully
his
clothed.
statement was. Right, that's his statement. So there's some inconsistencies.
Wait a
Uh,
minute. What?
we we learned that during
Yes.
Rosie's show yesterday. Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, I thought she was clothed.
She was. She was.
So why
He
is he saying
Mhm.
naked body? I mean, yeah, it's traumatic, but dude, this is your daughter and this is her justice. Buck the fuck up and be a man.
Yeah.
Buck the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. The statement he
fuck is
made was
wrong with
something
You
you
wouldn't
these
be able
days?
to keep me away from that.
Jesus,
Right.
what is wrong with men these days? Be a man. Step the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So I'm just getting in, but I assume I know what you guys are talking about. It's that statement he made where he doesn't want to testify because he doesn't want to return to that room where he has to re-find her cold naked body or something like that. But
Fuck
he
him.
didn't
I'm
he didn't
sorry.
find her. She wasn't naked, and he doesn't have a
What the?
choice. So
That is
that's
that's gaslighting your daughter after she was murdered, bro.
Mm,
I don't want to testify because I'm too. What
yeah.
about her trauma?
Mm,
Fuck your trauma. What about her trauma?
yeah.
She hurt a lot more than you did
Mhm.
or will. Let him get Ard and then get
Yeah.
fucking killed and strangled and see what the hell. What the hell, man? I
I
don't want
know.
to testify.
Yeah.
Dude, it
There may
might,
be
I don't know. I don't
something that
know.
he doesn't want
Oh, for sure.
brought
For
up.
sure. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know how much I can cover this case with you guys because I'm
So
getting
he's gonna
really
try
angry.
and gaslight us into he's a victim and don't look into me, just feel sorry for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand what you're saying as well, CJ.
It's making me angry because I'm like, I'm going back to my own experience and the shit, like, and just the fact that another dad
Mhm.
is not like, why wouldn't you testify, bro?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? It's like
Yeah.
they just want to forget about her. Like it's a bump in the road. It's a spot in time. It's a memory uh, that will always
Yeah.
be there. Like bon voyage. See you in the afterlife. What? See you when we get there. Like it's that kind of joke. Mm, yeah, we'll see. I'll try
That
and
does speak a
do
lot
another show.
about who they are.
Go ahead. I don't
Uh,
want to. I don't want to interrupt or you know what I mean. I
I'm
feel
not
bad.
sure.
I feel bad.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure who's speaking when, and I'm
I'm the
trying to
one
like.
interrupting everybody else.
I'm
I feel
interrupting you
bad.
because
I feel bad. I'm like, oh shit. And
we need, we need to
but
change
yeah.
the thumbnail. It can be like 3 hours of interrupting each other. That's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so
But
sorry.
yeah. But I would like to talk about the incel. I don't know. You guys are
Mhm.
probably ready to be. I think it's probably past where you were wanting to be. But we can talk about this incel stuff some more. I definitely I don't know. Like I said, your guys' show yesterday, I was hearing little bits about it. I was already in a discussion about an incel earlier that morning. And then when I heard a lot of this stuff, I'm just like, I just talked about this stuff. So it was kind of weird how I was talking about it before, and then you guys were bringing things up, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a lot of links. I was
Yeah.
just talking about this, and so I definitely want to. I have some stuff about the incels tendencies, environments, a lot of the background stuff, and also I'm gonna bring up some things because I think that if not enough people know what an incel is, and not enough people know the signs, characteristics, and the traits, and I feel like if I can bring this information, there might be even a way for people to notice in young, because remember, a lot of these incels throw out these signs and tendencies and traits as small children. Okay. And I think that if I start to bring up a lot of these different things, people might be able to see
Yeah.
or at least go, okay, wait a minute. There's some of these signs right here with my 6 and 7-year old. I don't have him in counseling right now, and he's saying and acting these ways. Maybe it might not be a bad idea. And you can actually help stop them from progressing into, not that they're going to be, but when it comes to these certain traits that take place when these incels are children, there's some things that normal, typical children don't frickin' do. And those are contributing to the other things that are happening. And that's when the parent can go, wait a minute, maybe I need to have my kid talk to somebody. Not that they're going to be an incel, but at least you can get them to talk to somebody and start the process early, because a lot of these incels weren't able, number one, weren't being talked to, didn't have services offered, and also weren't able to get these feelings, ideas, and these things off their chest, which then comes to a boiling over point, and then they are bam. And then we have another victim, multiple victims, tragedies. And so I don't know. I really, really, really want to have a discussion about this incel stuff, not only with him, but also to like help people understand, like, if your child is displaying these types of behaviors, it's not normal. It shouldn't be taken as normal. It shouldn't be downplayed, and you should get the proper help, because it starts off with talking with somebody, and eventually, at least you can help avoid, certain things. Unfortunately, a lot of it, if you go through all these incels, a lot of it was no accountability. The home life was not ideal. And it also includes social social tendencies or lack thereof. There's a lot of different things. Why do you think they're the way they are? Because they're not social. They can't be social. They're not aware on how to be social. That's why they can't even get a date. Because a girl will be like, he's cute, but he's weird, because he's not able to be aware. And so a lot of these things take place before
Right.
they blossom into that incel. So
Yes.
That would be interesting to learn. That's not something that you see a lot of us digging into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certain things that they do that normal kids don't do, and you can be like, whoa, that it's a sign. It's a sign.
Yeah.
And a big factor with them as well is spending
And
too
it's
much
just
time online.
people just need to talk.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Rosee?
Yeah, the online issue. I was going to ask you that, Rosee.
Yeah.
Like they spend a lot of time online, or what?
Yeah, so a lot of the communities where like incels have their own terminology, their own communities, their own chat rooms, their own languages, and they might not be like completely incelized until they find other people and they start identifying with those feelings. And that's how one of the earliest signs is that they're spending too much time online, and they're spending too much time in chat rooms with other people who are identifying as incels. It's a huge problem among them.
Oh yeah, that if anybody ever comes across any incel chat boards, the shit is wild, graphic, wild, and it's like, how are people not being prosecuted? It's that gross.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, it's bad. I'm not surprised when they get to those chat rooms, they all of a sudden have the 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 motivation.
Yeah. And it's strange, like they have their own words and stuff, like the way they refer. I can't even remember all of it from when we did the coverage, but like there's different types of lifestyle choices that respond like correspond to a pill color, and guys who do get girlfriends, they just call them Chad. I don't That's their name.
Chads and
Yeah.
Stacy's, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, like they
is
have a
their
whole
terms.
language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They have their own keywords and
Mm.
terms. Like a lot of the incel terms are made up from
Huh.
incels. The terms that we
Mm.
repeat are incel terms that they made up. Like they really do have their own keywords for things. It's really
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
weird.
it's really crazy. And so yeah, the online, of course, because they're not, unless you're like friends with somebody and they're like, yeah man, like, I can't get a girlfriend either, then it's like one person, maybe a couple or something. It's not like the outside world. But once you get
Mm.
linked up with people from all over the country, and then you're going, whoa, this is not just me and Jimmy having bad luck with the ladies. This is a there's a group, there's people that I belong to. And then all of a sudden, that's when the strength and the motivation and all these things do come in, because they feel like they have a whole army behind them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because they're all rooting them on. Go fucking kill her. Go kill her, Jimmy. Go kill her. She don't deserve you. She's to blame. Like they have
Yeah.
the whole community just elevates them and celebrates them and tells them and eggs them and all of this. And it's just like, whoa, um, you got to keep better eye on your children, man.
It's very cult-like as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Um, and so yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, um, when this kid's gonna be in a jail cell. Like the dude is damn 17. There's freaking 12-year-olds that murdered somebody, not even Artem, but murdered somebody and were tried for a freaking adult. You're gonna tell me this kid did this, murdered her, art her, stuffed her, destroyed evidence, and then claimed I didn't know shit for how long,
Hmm.
until it started coming out that, bro, no bullshit. We're on video destroying evidence. What do you mean you didn't know about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And the DNA is enough. The DNA is enough for me, at least.
And the fact that you want to sit there, the people that do want this kid to still sit out, you want to sit there and let this kid go back out to society. I hope to God he doesn't come across one of your children.
Mm.
Because if it happened this time, guarantee you it's happening again. It's the soil, not the miracle grow.
Yeah.
It's what's in you.
I think everyone's afraid to speak over each other.
I don't know. I don't want to.
I was waiting to see if you wanted to say something, because I keep interrupting you. And I was like, I'm talking to myself like, Rosie, don't talk. It's not your turn.
No, the incel thing is creepy to me.
It is, but
I'm
I
very
really
interested in a show about that. I think that would be great, because I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know a lot about incels. It's something that it makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to look into it. But
Let
I
me
think
do
it's
this.
important, because like you said, I mean, if there's that big of a community out there, how
Huge.
many are you coming in contact with every day and you don't even know it? And then you go on a date with this guy that something is seriously off, and if you're not aware of that community out there, you can get yourself in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Absolutely.
Let me share this video So, because really, there's not a lot of people that know incel, understand it. Um, and let me, if I can find it, I'm looking up my own damn name. I'm looking at my own damn name and Elliot Roger, and it's not even popping up. YouTube is really fucking us with the algorithm here. Isn't that weird? I'm looking up my own damn shit because normally I can type in EvilleCJ, dirty DNA,
Yeah.
EvilleCJ, whatever, and it pops up. I'm literally scrolling and scrolling, and I still have yet to see my damn video.
Is it
Not that
the
not the theory, but the part one where we talked about the connection between Idaho 4 incel and him. And that is like the perfect episode for people to watch and listen to and learn what an incel is, learn what they're capable of, and learn about all the tendencies, especially from Elliot, because he's considered the incel king. He's
Yes,
the
he
one
is.
that is that they all look up to, and it's because of his manifesto. It's because of his um his speech beyond the chat boards. The chat boards is one thing, but they don't want to put a face to it. Elliot did, and I feel like, you know, I'm still can't find it. This is crazy. What is going on, YouTube?
I'm also looking.
Like I'm still scrolling, Rosie, and my name was the first fucking word in the search. It's from a couple years ago. I apologize. Normally it just pops right up. Oh my god, what else can I look up?
I'm also looking. One moment.
I don't fucking get it. Okay, there's part 2 that came up. I had to put Idaho 4 in it also. Part 1. Okay, here we go. So this is it says episode 484. Hold on. So this is well, my incel theory with Idaho 4 is at the end of this show. So, but at the first what is it? The first 3 hours and 20 minutes we go into the incel, what an incel is, and all that other stuff. So here's the link for that. So if anybody does, seriously, it's a great episode. It's a two-parter. Thank you, Rosie. Because Rosie actually introduced me to the incel because I didn't understand what an incel was until Rosie joined the show for this episode. This was all the way back in February of 2024. Was this
Yes.
episode? And so literally with just the first episode, you learn so much from Rosie and all the stuff that we discuss. You learn so much about an incel, the tendencies and everything. Really, you could watch this episode today, and when you come back and in a couple days we'll have a show or a discussion about the incel. We'll go into different things. You can literally watch that, come back on the next show, and totally be just contributing like crazy in chat or wherever, because you're going to be like, whoa, this is wild. You watch that episode, you watch Rosie and Jennifer's part 1 from yesterday, you watch that afterwards, I guarantee you're going to come up with the same conclusion as me, because as I was listening to you guys, and I'm like, holy shit, I was just talking about this stuff. And it's like, it was like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like meant to happen because I'm listening to you guys and I'm just like ding, 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 ding. Like a checkbox, like a checklist. Check, 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 check. I'm like, holy hell. I need to know some more because I think there's something to this. Really. I really
I
do.
think so. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. And there was a shorter video from before we did the part 1 and 2 where you kind of just introduced the idea. I think you called it a teaser. That was also a really good one, and I can't find it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I part 2. I don't know. It's not showing anything else. So,
Mm.
who knows? Maybe if you watch that video, it'll populate another video after that one. It should pop up part 2, but maybe it'll pop up the one that you just mentioned. Um, who it's February sometime of
Yeah.
2024. So there's so many shows. So somewhere around there. But yeah, definitely check out that one because it's very
Mhm.
interesting. He is creepy as shit. You're gonna see a lot of his like he made YouTube videos. He was
Oh
very
yeah.
vocal about what he was doing. And also you get to see how much of a piece of shit his parents were, just like Anna's.
Mm.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, damn, they're just like Anna. That's just
Mhm.
like the mom. That's just like the dad. That's just same
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You're
I
just like,
also feel yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was going to say I also want to point out that was my
Interesting.
very first show. So be kind. Please. Please
your
people be
very
kind.
first show. That
Was my
wasn't the
first
first
time.
time you joined on panel, was it?
I joined on panel once before that, but I was late because of the time zone. So I got like the end of the show for a couple of minutes and I was like, hi, bye. And then that part 1 was my first time on panel. So
Oh wow.
just so long as everybody knows, be nice,
Yeah,
please.
me with the
Oh.
green screen, you know what I mean? So it's a long time ago. I mean, hell, February 2024, we're talking 2.5 years, or yeah, 2.5 years almost.
Mhm.
That's a long time. Yeah, so rookie me a little bit. Not like the beginning, like that is total rookie me. If anybody wants to see some rookie shit going on, go to my first shows. You'd be like, damn, this dude's not on camera. He's using his phone for his microphone. like like he doesn't even, hey, what's going on, guys? I don't know. Let's see what's going on in the world, huh? Okay. Yeah. So I have that this episode is not like that. Little, I'm seasoned. I'm seasoned, I
He
got it,
is.
but I'm still rookie shit. There's still some rookie shit, but I do have a green screen. All right. So I did move up. I got a microphone. Actually, this is the same microphone that I've had the whole time for the whole show. So
It's a good
you'll
one.
see this
Yeah.
microphone in there. Let me know if anybody does watch it. Let me know. Do you like this background? Do you like the background like this? Because I can't use a green screen with different cameras. It don't work out. But let me know. Do you like this background? Do you like the green screen? Who knows? Let me know. Uh, Whatever anybody likes the best. So, all right, I'm done talking. I'm sorry for interrupting and taking over and derailing and all these other things. I was supposed to
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
incel and it turned into child protective service rant.
That is fine. We will. I sent you an article, a research article on incels. I don't know if you want to go through it, or if you want to go through it another time, but I thought that was pretty interesting as well, or I thought you would find it interesting too. But I mean, I think we did
Where'd you
we did
send
hit
it?
it.
An email or something? Or
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
in an email. Okay, I haven't
Yes.
checked my email since I got home. So okay.
Yeah. Just letting you know. But yeah. I think there's definitely something to it when it comes to Anna's case or Timothy's
Mm-hmm.
case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As more comes out too, is there the stuff that you were watching today? When did that take place? The court stuff. Is that
That
from
was
before or what?
no, so that was after the murder, but before he was charged.
Okay. Where are we at in the court with it today?
There's another episode to watch, but I actually don't know the outcome. The outcome of that one was that they didn't feel there was an emergency. I'm trying not to jump ahead. There's one more episode to watch,
Oh, okay.
to see if the little girl was removed, but I'm not
Oh,
hopeful. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that was just custody stuff, and to date, I don't know what happened, but what I can say is that Timothy Hudson is still with his uncle or something.
Yeah, so they're going to go to trial. They're going to go to trial. Is there like a date, projected date? I'm just curious, like where in the court system this case is
Well,
as of this moment.
there
Just in
must have been
limbo?
some there must have been some kind of delay because a hearing was scheduled for the 1st of June, which didn't happen. And
1st of June.
then there was a hearing recently as well, but that was just to decide if he should be put in pretrial detention, which he wasn't. Yeah.
So there's no projection on end of 26, beginning of 27, mid 27, no kind of projection. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I suppose they have to do all their testing and stuff like that, but I don't know. I would think if it's mostly on video, not the act itself, but the stuff before and after, it's on video. The cruise ship is a small room, so the DNA isn't going to go far. The things, you're on a boat, the things that happen with the crime ain't going to go far unless he tossed them over into the water. So I see it pretty quick and being slam dunk. Is there any issues with let me ask this first. Is there any issues with the evidence and the investigation? Is there
Yes.
what's the issues with the evidence in the investigation? It wasn't handled properly?
Well, these are just issues that are being anticipated, but I did hear Joseph Scott Morgan saying that he has a lot of queries about the way things were done. Like he wants to know who unwrapped her. Like how did that happen? Why was her
Unwrapped her.
Yeah, because she was wrapped in a blanket, but I don't know if there's documentation. Like basically there wasn't a processing that would be normal because they had to wait for the FBI to come aboard. They have to get back to Miami. So
So
he was
they had to wait for that. So who is the one that did the who started?
It's really confusing. It is because it seems like this Dr. Kanakaraj came aboard, the medical examiner, and he started the process. But I find the order in which things were done a little bit strange as well. So it's
If
it's
this kid
strange.
gets off, man, if this kid gets off because
Yeah.
if there's issues with the investigation and the evidence collecting and you're doing shit, man, she might not get justice. He could
Yeah.
probably
So
get a lesser charge. Is that why he's not in jail right now? Is because there's issues with the evidence? Like
I have no idea. I have no idea. I think as far as the medical side of things, I know that at least from what I've watched, that Joe Scott Morgan has questions about, and there were things that I also thought was strange because for that forensic R kit that was done, I, I don't know why that wasn't done with the autopsy. Why was that done on the boat?
Why was it done on the boat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why where on the boat was it done? What? It don't tell me it was done in the same freaking room where her
I
body
don't
was at.
know. That's the thing.
It's
Is that
supposed to be in a sanitary environment.
I don't know. He's concerned, and I also thought that was strange because obviously they will have someone on the boat who can do that, but I think that's for people who are still alive. Like there's a crime on the boat, and then there's probably a nurse or something, but I don't know what they would do in the event of like a crime scene that needs to be processed. And also, we don't have all the information, but I do think there's some things where I agree with him. Like, just in my experience, it seems strange. We have to wait for more info.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's sad because now I'm concerned she's not going to get justice. He's going to get a slap on the wrist and he's going to get away with it. And Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's getting victimized even after death from so
Yeah.
many different fucking people, man. Medical people, the police, the parents. Like even after, when she's supposed to get the most support that she would ever get, period,
Yeah.
and she's getting the least.
Yeah.
That poor child.
Yeah.
I feel so bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for answering my questions. And sorry if I asked stuff that was already covered or.
No. That's
or
you didn't actually, so that's fine. Thank you for joining as well, and for taking over StreamYard, which scares me. Thank you. I was scared.
No. It's StreamYard. You know it's always going to be buggy.
Oh, yeah, it was particularly bad, but it's fine now. It's happy to see you. It's like it's. We're good. We're good now.
Yeah, I do hope that Anna does get justice, because if it goes the way it's going so far, it's not looking good.
No. Not at all.
We will have to wait and see. I don't know if you guys want to do an episode where we go through the next hearing. The information that comes out is largely the same from what I can tell. So I didn't think it was completely necessary. But if people comment on this one and say they want to, then we will. It's up to the people.
Yeah. Whose cat is meowing? I don't know. Baby
Can
Angel.
you hear that? She is
chill.
a follower, and I am so sorry. I've been trying to mute it real quick.
We all have
when I
cats.
hear
Ain't
her,
that wild?
She's sticking her paws through the door.
We all have cats. It's like the show went too long, Mom.
Right? They do that.
You said it was only gonna be.
that's
It's
what's
just
funny.
blame it on me. All right, just look. We would have been done, honey, if CJ didn't join. All right, just blame it on me. Blame it on me.
But they do that. You'll get used to that as well. Like when.
Oh yeah, the cat hears it. Oh, so
No,
does
your
your
cats
cat
hear
talk?
it too. Oh no.
Does your
Yeah.
does your cat talk back to it? Like I'm curious.
Okay, well, I have to tell you that when Baby Angel used to be on panel and she used to meow a lot, my cats would come to the door and they would be like, "We want to see the kitten," and I was like,
It's a true crime cat community.
Yeah.
Like our cat, like the
It is.
community gets together and the cats get together too.
They know each other.
Yeah, I need to bring Baby back on camera. I brought her on camera a couple weeks ago so she could say
I
hi.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough trying to get her to come hang out on camera now. Back then, it was always chilling on the back of my neck, but that's
Yeah.
before she could see. It took her
Yeah.
like a month before she could see, and she's still kind of, you know. Yeah, she was messed up from the get-go pretty bad, so. But she's a trooper. She's a strong one. And she made it, so.
Yes.
Thank God. But all right, I'll take a back seat
Yeah.
and you guys do what you need to do, and I will.
No, I think we are going to end the show now because it is going on. I was thinking 2 hours and it's going on 3 hours and it's kind of late for
3:15 almost.
Yeah, it's late for South African people.
I know. I'm like, damn. I looked down at the time and I was like, oh shit. Sorry. I was only supposed to talk about incels. And...
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. The cat's mad at you.
Damn it, CJ. I'm sorry, kitty. Love you. Love you.
Yeah, but I think we will end it there and we will reconvene.
Yeah, reconvene.
Yes.
I appreciate both of you. Thank you both for doing your shows these last couple days. A lot of information, and I also appreciate, there's a little bit of laughter in there. We're talking some ugly ass shit, and you got to have a little laughter here and there. Joke around, kid with yourselves. Funny StreamYard happening. So I appreciate the way that you guys are handling all of the brutal stuff. So thank you both. You guys are. I don't know. I kind of like sitting back listening to you guys because you guys have this. It's like you guys have so much fun, even though StreamYard's fucking up and you're talking about ugly shit, and you're like, you know what though, I don't know. I just the interaction with you two together without me being on the show. I think it's cool. I love it.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna do this real quick so I can have some.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right then. Well, CJ has left. So, and I was kind of hoping he would end the show, but okay, fine. I'll do it.
We got it.
Seriously. Yeah, we're okay. I do want to say thank you so much for like the last couple of shows have been amazing with you here. So we really are very, very grateful. And if CJ were here, he would say so.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. I'm really glad to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm always here. I'm always.
Oh my god,
here.
that's so creepy. This is not going to be like a highlight video material. I'm sorry. But you see, now I forgot what I was saying, but I was probably saying I was saying that I was going to say goodnight to everyone and say thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day further. And to you, Jennifer, and we will work on this part 3. And CJ is still here. He says bye to you. Yes. Bye, everyone.